into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Very good morning. In fact, the best of morning to you, beautiful people. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this Thursday, the 6th of February, 2020. Welcome to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show, live, large, and in charge. Proudly South African, as you can see. We even drape our couches in it. Actually, we were going to have a ceremonial hoisting of the flag outside, but then, you know, load shedding is a thing, and we're like, nah, let's rather keep it on the inside so you can actually see it and appreciate it as well. But it's a pleasure to have you here at a very exciting time in our country right now, especially due to the fact that Cape Town will be hosting a massive sport event tomorrow. Graham Richards, you must be very
The biggest
excited.
ever, we are hoping, biggest ever tennis match, or at least fans viewing a tennis match. They're hoping that every one of those 50,000 seats will be filled in the Cape Town Stadium to break a world record. And we'll cover it in our entertainment and news, I'm sure, today. But, of course, Trevor Noah coming back to South Africa.
I was about to ask you about him. How do you think he's feeling right now? Well, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen anything on social media about him. But how do you think he's feeling about the game? Do you think Trevor has got a mean forehand?
All I remember is he actually competed in a season of Strictly with Lindsay. Yeah. And he was so good. I think
so he's
physically,
very competitive.
yeah, I think he's got that knack. I think he can pick pretty much anything up. But I think it's that feeling. You imagine coming back to SA and then stepping out in front of 50,000 people, and that must be quite a trip, man. So
the crowd roaring.
Awesome stuff. Great to see the focus on our continent as well. And for education, nothing more worthwhile. So absolutely love that.
Wonderful things. Well, as Graham said, we'll keep you updated on how that's going. Maybe find out where Trevor is, where Bill is, where Rafa and Roger are right now. In fact, hey, if you guys are watching, tweet us. Tweet us at Expresso Show. Hashtag Expresso Show. And of course, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3 is where you can find us on Facebook. In the meantime, let's say good morning to the rest of the team. What's up, guys?
What's happening, guys? It is a special weekend for South Africa indeed.
It is.
Trevor Noah's coming home. Uzozibini's coming home. There's a special game. Oh, Bill Gates. I wish I could just rub shoulders with Bill Gates. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot happening. I think that the airport is going to be so much busier than ever, with everybody going out to show support, and we must, when these people come back here. I'm talking about Trevor Noah, I'm talking about Zozibini Tunzi. We must be there at the airport, holding flags up high, singing for them and saying, welcome back home. All right, but guys, good morning. Good morning. It's a brand new day. Yes. It is a Thursday. We're nearing the weekend, but of course, we don't do any start to any day without getting you inspired. And today we have a look at the popular Belgian-born British actress. I'm talking about Audrey Hepburn. You know her. She's known for her beauty. She's known for her style, but also known for doing so well as an actress, winning an Academy Award for Best Actress in 1954. And of course, her efforts in helping children in need all over the world. She was considered one of the most elegant women of the 20th century, featuring in popular classics like Breakfast at Tiffany's, which was such a hit, and of course My Fair Lady, which a lot of people will know her from. And she was once quoted saying, "I believe in being strong when everything seems to be going wrong. I believe that happy girls are the prettiest girls. I believe that tomorrow is another day. And I believe in miracles." Oh yes, poetry. Say it like poetry, Audrey Hepburn. I love that.
Love that, man. Absolutely inspiring, and it's something that we can definitely take home and implement in our own lives. Now, Audrey believes that happy girls are the prettiest girls, and we're pretty happy when we are smelling good. And boy, do we smell good today. Now, did you guys know that there's evidence that perfume dates back to the ancient Egypt? Now, if you want to spoil this special man or woman in your life, get them something they will value and appreciate, and that has been there for thousands of years. The special thing about this is that Woolworths stock a wide variety of fragrances, including some of the most popular brands. And I believe that you want to try out some of them today.
Girl, I have Heart Light here. We have the clear blue, the clear one. And then we also have Bella Rose. Now this one, I'm going to spray it on, and you're going to just get it over there, rich.
What is it?
Oh, yes, it has a nice tangy fruit to it.
Yeah, but it's also got a very summery scent to it. It's very fresh.
So if that is your vibe, then that is definitely what you want to go for. And then this one, I try not to put, okay, I'll put it on the other arm.
Yeah, put it on your other one.
There we go.
And
This one, oh.
give it some air. Give it some
It's a clean, fresh smell.
Yeah.
It's something you'll also
a little bit spicier than the other one,
Is
but
it?
definitely fresh.
Would it
as
work
well.
also for like winter time, or is it? Do you think it's a summer scent specifically?
It's an all-round scent.
Yeah,
You can
that
wake up
smells
with
like
this.
an all-rounder.
And I think it's perfect for a gift. So if you just want to
Yeah.
play it around for Valentine's Day, hint, hint, hint,
Hint, hint.
of course,
Nudge,
this is something you want to try. And if you all want to unlock true romance in your life this Valentine's Day, remember to spoil your loved ones with a sense of love. And to make it even better, Hoots has 20% off all the women and men's fragrances from today until the 14th of February 2020. Now make this a Valentine's Day to remember. So shop the fragrances at Woolworths in store, online, and on the Woolworths app.
Now I actually want to try it on.
Please smell. Please smell.
Hey, Sis Princess, good morning to you.
Morning.
How are you this
I'm
morning?
good, and you?
You
very
are fresh this morning,
I'm
girl.
fresh this morning.
Woo, I'm not. I desperately need a cup of coffee, please. Yeah.
Do you have the freshest 100%
Yes,
Arabica beans?
Arabica beans, yes.
Ground for us. Thank you very much for that.
Grounded.
Grounded.
It's grandly grounded.
Did you hear who's
Thanks,
coming to
dear.
the country, Sis Princess?
No?
Trevor Noah is
Oh,
coming to
wow.
the country. He's going to be here for a big tennis match tomorrow. Miss Universe Zozibini Tunzi is coming to the country for a couple of days.
Wow.
Aren't you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Ne?
Yes.
But then what do
I
they-
love both of them.
I know.
yeah.
But I mean, who doesn't? But how do they plan a trip like this? Like the need, surely everyone wants a piece of them.
I'm
do you
sure
do it?
they must have like teams around them that have a pre-planned schedule. At this hour, you're here, you're getting into a
like,
transfer.
go to a school in
Yeah.
Khayelitsha and
Nah.
do something like.
In
change
fact,
it up, man.
Sis Princess, if you were talking to Trevor Noah right now,
There we go.
What? Oh well,
Well, look, I
we
just
lost the
wanted to-
power a little bit. I don't know if you guys, if you could see us in the dark. That was crazy. That was load shedding right
That's why
here
we
in
can
our.
do our raise our flag this
We are
morning.
not immune. All
I
right.
quite like the romantic ambience
It was-
of it all, actually.
I even forgot the question I was about to ask Sis Princess about what she would. Yeah, you know what? I'll figure that out later on. Load shedding. We
Go
love
light
you.
some candles.
This
We'll
is
see
part
you
of
now.
every day in South Africa.
Load shedding to me.
Load shedding for
I
who?
cannot believe it.
Yeah, I was still smelling myself and I was like, I can't even, like, what? It smells so beautiful. But of course, let's take a look at your temperatures in the major parts of the country today and see how it affects what you are wearing today. Now, if you find yourself in Johannesburg, temperatures seem to remain the same throughout the week. A cool low and warm maximum. Now, dress freely today as thunderstorms arrive on Friday again. So you are getting a bit of a break until Friday.
Yes, now moving on over to Durban. Cloudy and humid conditions are still expected, unfortunately. Thunder showers can be expected in the evening. Temperatures are still pretty high for the day, so no need for extra layers as conditions rather will be uncomfortable. Keep an umbrella close by just in case.
Absolutely. Now, in the friendly city today, cooler conditions can be felt with temperatures only reaching a maximum of 22 degrees. Rain can be expected throughout the day with a southerly wind, so would advise to bring along an extra jacket or even a scarf. It seems like a winter day is actually expected for the friendly city today.
And finally, Cape Town seems to be cooling down. Yesterday there was a young, rain here and there. A pretty gusty breeze of 43 kilometers is expected today, which is pretty strong. So maybe wear a windbreaker this morning, and as I would always say, hold on to your wigs and your lashes, darling. To the point where I'm not even wearing lashes today because I knew.
Are you ready?
I knew. I'm prepared for the weather, girl.
Are you prepared?
100%. Are you prepared for the weather?
I am prepared for the weather. You see, that's why I even shaded it off. I was like, I ain't doing hair anymore. It's not about that vibe. But girl, you are giving us vibes today.
Yes.
Like, you are feeling the mother city vibes. You look sad.
I'm giving
Love
you
it. Office
boss
corporate
type of look.
Yes.
A boss chick look.
Okay.
You know, these kind of well-fitted suit pants, a simple strap heel, and this gypsy top, and the colors complement each other. You know, the pink and the white, absolutely beautiful, summery, also perfect for the weather, actually.
Yes.
I mean, you can put on just a young cardigan or a jacket, just to stop the wind from attacking you, or any rain or anything
Hi.
of that sort. You can definitely style it up or style it down.
There.
Sneakers, depending on how you want to accessorize it, you can do that, and you look Gorgeous.
Off a sheet today, but of course this is also, I am getting nearer to Valentine's Day, so I'm trying to play around with fashion a bit more, trying to keep it chic, trying to keep it boss-like. So of course this is a corporate look if you are wanting to go to the office today, but of course it can be a date night. So if you just want to pop on a red lip and then you are Valentine's Day ready. So I am living for this today. Of course you can shop this online, in-store, on the Who's app. But now let's find out how the boys are starting the day off with some self-love.
Oh yes, self-love over here, self-love over there, self-love everywhere. That's the mission of today, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're putting out to
It's a
everyone.
difficult thing to broach because now we've asked each other the question of what you love most about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's all cool to preach about self-love, but when you've actually got to get down to it, what do you love about you? Not just like, what do you love about yourself, man?
And it doesn't have to be physical attributes. So it doesn't have, you can't say, I love my nose, I love my ears, because, I mean, you know, that's not what we're looking for here. But we're looking for those things that just are part of who you are as a
part
person.
of your character that you dig. So
But when
what do you
somebody,
love?
I love the fact that my real ability to make everyone feel comfortable and feel welcome and feel warm. I really can step into any environment and it doesn't matter what. I can see someone not feeling entirely themselves, not feeling comfortable in a space, and I'm able to bring them in and make them feel warm. And
That's
to
cool,
open up.
man.
I love that about myself. And you?
Yeah, it's funny. It's very similarly. I think I love the fact that I have like a genuine desire to make people want to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
Like that, it really does. It's a deep motivator for me, and it does make me feel good. So it's a good day to think about what attributes you have that make you love yourself. So share with us on our social media platforms. It's an open space. It's a judgment-free space.
Yeah.
Share with us your own love. Share a little self-love with us this morning. We'd love to hear from you. You can hit us up, Expresso Morning Show on Facebook.
The time just gone 11 minutes past 6, and here are your news headlines on this Thursday morning. On the national news front, Eskom announced last night that Stage 2 rotational load shedding would continue until tomorrow, with a high probability of repeats over the weekend as well. The power utility said in a statement that it regrets having to take these steps, but that it was due to a shortage of capacity and a high demand for electricity. Earlier yesterday, Eskom also said it would not be able to suspend Stage 2 load shedding during the afternoon rush hour. Now, newly appointed Transnet CEO Portia Derby yesterday said attracting private sector investment was one of her key focus areas. She was addressing delegates at the 26th annual Invest in Africa Mining Indaba at the Cape Town International Convention Centre under the theme Capacitating Growth on the Continent. She said supporting some of the state-owned entities' investments would require it to join hands with, quote, private sector money. On the international front, one of the last remaining great Tuskers elephants in Kenya has died of natural causes in the Amboseli National Park. He was 50. Kenya Wildlife Services said the much-beloved Tim's body would be sent to a taxidermist in Nairobi in order for it to go on display later. African elephants are referred to as Tuskers when their tusks can reach the ground. Tim's weighed 45 kilograms each. Former Save the Elephants field assistant Ryan Wilkie said the gentle giant was incredibly intelligent, mischievous, and a real ambassador for his species. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump was late last night cleared in his impeachment trial, ending a congressional bid to oust him from office that bitterly divided the U.S. The Senate, run by the president's fellow Republicans, voted to acquit him 52-48 on charges of abuse of power and by 53-47 on obstruction of Congress. Democrats charged Trump in December with pressuring Ukraine to smear a potential White House rival. And now news on tomorrow's big tennis happening in Cape Town. Fresh from competing in the Australian Open, 20-time Grand Slam winner Roger Federer yesterday touched down in Cape Town, where he will meet his longtime rival and 19-time Grand Slam singles champion Rafael Nadal tomorrow. The exhibit match will be played under the auspices of the Roger Federer Foundation to raise funds for children's education in Africa. Federer says he hopes to raise at least $1 million. In addition, event organizers will also attempt to break the world record for the most spectators to watch a single tennis match at the 50,000-seater Cape Town Stadium. Another highlight of the evening will be the exhibition match between Trevor Noah teaming up with Nadal against Microsoft founder Bill Gates and Federer. No doubt it will be the hottest ticket on the continent tomorrow evening. And finally, taking a stroll into the world of entertainment, being a former child star can be tricky when it comes to staying relevant in the spotlight. But former YoTV presenter Kanya Mkangisa's star continues to rise and shine. She has just Richest landed a new role on the popular SABC2 soap opera Mubango as newcomer Mbali and a character with which she seems to be very much aligned. And more on this later in our full entertainment report. That's it for now where the news is concerned. Right now, let's take a look at the world of sports.
Just quickly touching on some of the major headlines that have grabbed our attention this morning in football. Defending Nedbank Cup champions TS Galaxy have been knocked out of the competition. That was after suffering a 3-0 loss to Chippa United at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in the opening round of 32 last night. So the Chile boys secured the win through a stunner from Gamotin and then a brace from Quem. And there will be one Nedbank Cup fixture this evening. That's Ajax Cape Town will play host to TS Sporting. That kicks off at 7:30 at the Athlone Stadium. And staying with football, Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur have advanced to the FA Cup 5th round. That was after beating Southampton 3-2 in the 4th round replay at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium late last night. It was star forward Son Heung-min who scored an 86-minute penalty to secure the win for Spurs. They'll now face Norwich City in March. And finally, on to motorsports, the 4th race of the 2020 Formula One season, Chinese Grand Prix taking place at the Shanghai International Circuit, might not take place due to the outbreak of the coronavirus. Sports authorities in Shanghai have recommended that all sporting events be suspended in the city as a result of the virus. Last week, of course, the 2020 World Athletics Indoor Championship, scheduled to take place from the 13th to the 15th of March in China, will also postponed until next year. That's where we leave our sport for now. We are going to delve into some inspirational young footballers' lives in just a moment, so stick around.
Thank you so much, G. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and we've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Now, JP Malherba sent us this amazing skyline from Robertson, where cloudy conditions are expected with cooler temperatures reaching a maximum of 22 degrees. Stube Johnson sent us this beautiful sunrise from Le Clavile in Northwest, where times of sun and clouds are expected with a thunderstorm towards the end of the day, reaching a maximum of 28 degrees. So keep those pictures coming in. We love to see it. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the country. Starting off in Polokwane, thunderstorms are expected for you with a low of 20 and a high of 29. Umbombela with a low of 21, peaking at 34. A couple of showers can be expected for you, Pretoria, ranging from 18 to 30 degrees. Johannesburg, 16 to 28. Now, if you find yourself in Mahikeng, heavy rainfall is expected for you today, ranging from 18 to 30 degrees. Klerksdorp, 17 to 29. Occasional rain for Kimberley with a low of 20 and a high of 33. Bloemfontein, 17 to 30. Now, thunderstorms can also be expected for you, Richards Bay, with a low of 22 and a high of 31. If you find yourself in Pietermaritzburg, your temperatures range from 19 to 30 degrees. Now, a couple of showers for South Africa's playground, Durban, with a low of 23 and a high of 29. Mthatha, 16 to 23. Heavy rainfall can be expected for East London, ranging from 18 to 23 degrees. Cradock, 14.22. Port Elizabeth, 18.21. Now, southeasterly wind of 15 kilometers per hour can be expected for you, George, ranging from 16 to 18 degrees. The lowest temperature in the country can be found in Sutherland with an all low of 10 and a high of 20. A southeasterly wind of 43 kilometers per hour for you, Cape Town, so do hold onto those hats, and your temperatures is ranging from 17 to 22 degrees. Worcester, 15.22. Springbok, 13.28. And the highest temperature in the country, as always, can be found in Uppington with an all low of 24, peaking at 37 degrees. Of course, whatever the weather, wherever you find yourself, make sure it is a feel-good kind of day.
Oh yes, I feel cool. Feel good.
Feel cool.
Feel good. Feel cool. Feel cool. Feel cool. Feel good. Type of day.
Yeah, that's where you do find yourself right now.
Time to be upstanding.
Yeah.
Because we want to get this party started.
And be proudly South African as we start off this Thursday morning.
Guys.
I remember mornings at school. I don't know if you guys were ever given the privilege to hoist up the flag like that. We had like a moment that you know, the school kind of paused for a moment, and here with the backdrop of the Silver Mountains here in Cape Town, we hoist our flag to proclaim that
look at
we're proudly South African, proudly African as well.
Yes, and it's not just about putting the flag up high, right? It's about there's a message behind it. It's a message of hope that every day that we start the day, when the flag goes up high there, we say we're hopeful that we can be the great country that we're meant to be, that we can and should be.
I love the fact that the wind picked up just when we need it.
Thank you, Win. Thank you, Win.
The universe agrees perhaps he's coming back home on Saturday.
We tend to be proudly South African, and we're going to continue feeling proud about South Africa. Introducing you to an incredible young football academy, the Ikapa Football Academy, that need our help, your help, to get them overseas to compete internationally, which I think every young football star deserves, and we can help them there.
Absolutely, man. That's how we roll, man. Every good morning starts here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. We promised you a little inspiration, and here it comes. Over the past 19 years, the Ikapa United football team has been participating in an awesome annual international youth soccer competition that takes place all the way in Dallas, in Texas, in the US. Ikapa is a non-profit organization, and this is obviously where we need to step in. They need sponsorship to help get these young soccer stars to the USA. Now, joining us this morning to chat a little bit about their amazing team, some of the players and the tournament, please welcome Ikapa team organizer Richard Poole, and then our young soccer stars Angelica, Miguel, Shaquille and Marcus. Give a little wave there, guys. Good morning. Welcome to it. Yes, you don't do a double take. You guys are twins, right? Yeah. It's even worse when you smile. You look even more identical. Right? Thank you so much for joining us. Richard, maybe take us back to the beginning of this narrative, because you've got an incredibly long history, proud history. How did Ikapa come about, and what was the motivation to form a football tradition in this way?
Yeah, about 20 years ago, the Dallas Cup invited Archbishop Tutu to send a team to the Dallas Cup as, I think at that time, as when he won the Laureate Award, the Nobel Prize. So they sent a team. It was fully sponsored by the Dallas Cup itself. And they went there. And I think that first engagement at the tournament, we learned a lot of things, and we saw that, you know, this is something that we really should do and expose our South African football players to. And ICAPA was formed, and this is where we are busy with for the last 20 years, basically.
But that's an incredible, for non-profits to be able to survive for 20 years takes a huge amount of effort. You've got to get funding from somewhere. It doesn't just magically happen. Have any of you guys been to the US before?
Yes.
Well, Angelica, what was that experience like?
It's very exciting, and the people is so friendly over there and loving, like you, their own child.
That's awesome, eh? How do you feel being, because now there is a lot of focus, thankfully, finally, on women in football. How do you feel as a young woman breaking into that space?
I feel very proud to represent the womankind, and it's very exciting for me. I enjoy it very much.
I love that. And Marcus, this is, I think, an incredible opportunity, yes, to go and see the world, but also to play some great football against some great footballing teams. What do you get out of an experience like this, being a part of ICAPA?
I learn a lot to improve my game, and I see a lot of different things in the football, like to play football, and I learn a lot. Yes.
So, gents, Mikael, Shaquille, did I get it right? Are you playing with me, or did I really get it right?
Yes.
Are they allowed to play on the same team? And don't people get mixed up when you guys are...
No, not really.
So what has the experience of being in a football team like this meant for you as a young person? How have you changed, do you think?
I feel I've developed a lot since the years gone by, and yeah.
It's good. I think to be able to play in a team sports environment is great, but to have that goal of being able to go and compete internationally against some pretty amazing teams, how are you feeling about the prospect of going global, going international? Shaquille?
Feels great. I'm this guy, but yeah.
Does it make you nervous thinking that you're going to fly all that way to go and play some of the best teams?
Not really. No.
We're just that good. We're just that good. So, Richard, what do you need? How do we help you get there?
Yeah, this is a huge project, as we say. It's a 3 million rand project. You know, if we do our estimates right, we're probably sitting at a shortfall between 1 million and 500,000 rand. So we still are busy with fundraising, a couple of functions coming up, and a couple of events that we have that is taking place. But as I said, we're going to need the support of sponsors, of the community to get involved and get us over the line. Our previous trip, we basically went to Dallas with a 300 rand deficit, and we managed to overcome that through our connections on the other side. So,
wow.
So yeah, so we would like
make a plan,
to make a plan up front, and hopefully we within these 2 months we can raise enough funds to make it easier for these kids, and so that they all can come, because some of them is really in need of some funds.
And it's life-changing, I would imagine. An experience like this you'll remember for the rest of your lives, whether you continue to play football or not. This is fundamentally life-changing stuff. Yes. So we're going to put your details up on all of our social media platforms. If you're a corporate looking for some great coverage, because this is the kind of story that is going to generate a lot of media coverage, we've already given it a platform on our show, and I have no doubt that we'll continue to track this story. 2 months, these guys need to raise a lot of money. Let's do it. Let's help them. Let's get ICAPA to the US.
Let's get them there, indeed.
Wonderful stuff, eh? Young talent, right? I mean, these are the future stars of South African football.
And I'm so proud of that girl. She's like the only one. She's like the only rose around the thorn. She's repping us. Okay, we see you, Mama. We see you.
Nicely done, nicely done. Let's help these young ones fulfill their dreams, as we would like to fulfill your dream of a cup of coffee right now, because you haven't had a first cup.
I haven't had one, Sis Princess. You know how I like it, Mama.
I know.
No sugar.
No sugar.
Oh, yes. You're still on that.
Still on that. So you can actually actually get a baked good and I'll just watch you. I feel like I get more relief and more fulfilled when I watch other people than I'm just judging you in my mind. I'm like,
Really?
99 calories.
So, Princess, what do you have in the oven baking this morning?
Chocolate muffins.
Ooh, sounds good. I'll definitely take a calorie shot for
me,
Jamie Lee.
take one for me, and I will take...
Listen, so how's that going, though?
6 kilos down since the 6th of Jan, so not too bad.
Whoa, what?
Not too bad.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I was going to clap, but then I was like, no, why? No, I'm clapping. I'm clapping. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Do you feel better? Thank you very much.
I feel better, I feel lighter, and I have lots of energy, and that is why I wake up more fresh in the morning, but it's difficult. It is difficult. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Get it?
That's what she said.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. And yes, welcome to it if you're also one of the 300 people that Tabiso is ghosting right now.
God, yes. Tell the whole nation that I have people in ghosting.
307
Why are you
unread
admitting
WhatsApp
right
messages.
now? Now you've just really...
All right, anyway.
Let's quickly reflect on some news from the world of technology and what's been happening, guys.
Oh, yeah, lots been happening. So, you know, it's not every day that you come across a wacky and weird technology story that's actually true, right? But for pilots, aviators, and anyone else who takes to the sky, the threat posed by rogue drone pilots who have piloted their drone into restricted airspace is huge. It's a serious thing. It's a real thing, not just because of the threat of collision, but also for security and privacy, which is a big thing. Yeah. And one of the most secure locations on the United States, or rather in the United States, is the Pentagon, where the Office of the Department of Defense is housed. And previously, the office itself has threatened to shoot down rogue drones entering its airspace. However, the Pentagon now seems to have found a more peaceful way to deal with this. They're preparing to use something called Drone Hunter, which basically is a system in which a state-owned drone would be able to hunt down a rogue unit and capture it in, listen to this, it captures it in a net, okay? Now, it's...
is this it over there?
Yeah, so
it's like Spider-Man.
That's what it does, yeah. It just like sort of releases it, grabs it.
Jeez.
It's
at
this stage, yeah, uncertain as to when the system will be used, but it will likely help the Pentagon avoid the need to destroy any rogue drones. So they're thinking of all those rogue drones. Look at that. That is quite a work of of net, isn't it? And hopefully...
Well, I guess with this now, once they catch the drone, then they can probably trace it back.
That's
bring
it.
it back to where you are. So yeah, don't fly.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't be doing that. It's a big risk to security, right?
Absolutely, and privacy. Now, moving on to an app that is one of the most used apps in the world. I'm talking about YouTube. You might even be tuning into your Feel Good Breakfast show on it right now. But did you guys know that YouTube has never before clarified its yearly profit under the parent company Alphabet, the same company that actually owns Google?
So they never told us what they actually make.
Yes, annually. So in a first, YouTube has clarified it earned over $15 billion last year alone. An impressive stat considering that in 2006, Google bought the site for just $1.5 billion. So times that by 10, right? Impressive. Yeah. Now the results show just how profitable YouTube is, considering that Google clarified that the service is continuing to grow with just over 2 billion users worldwide. To put into perspective, it's like an estimated 7.5 billion population in the world and almost 2 billion people using the app. I think that's quite impressive. Now the news means that YouTube continues to lead the pack amongst video sharing sites, beating the likes of Facebook Watch and TikTok. Well, I think also it's because of the new features that they've introduced. So now you don't necessarily need to have a fixed camera and taking a fully fleshed video and post on YouTube. You can actually post on YouTube stories.
Oh, wow.
Like Instagram stories, real time. So I think because they're always progressive and they try to find something new or what's relevant at the time, that's what's working for
But they're
them.
also like the bedrock of video content.
Fair enough, 100%.
When you think video content, you think YouTube.
You think YouTube. You don't look anywhere
Facebook
else.
Watch is new.
Yes.
TikTok is, I've never really... Well, Graham says it's gimmicky.
The kids love it. We're doing it for the kids.
Leave the kids alone, Graham.
A lot of people.
Yeah, but I think they're now playing in the music space as well. So very interesting times. Graham, you can protest now, Graham. You can protest now.
Go over to that guy in the other room.
Our cameraman just did one of these. Whoa. It was a little double take. I love it. We were speaking yesterday about, obviously, this incredible butterfly spectacle that's been happening. I think, depending on your learnings, unexplained natural events are ones that you either enjoy purely for their wonder from taking them in, or it's an opportunity to look into the science behind it to explain. So last week, Wednesday, we reported in our news of how the skies of Johannesburg came alive. They were awash with millions of white and brown butterflies fluttering across the northeast of South Africa during their annual midsummer migration. So after experiencing one of these beautiful sightings across Gauteng recently, we tried to understand the science behind it all. Let's see if you can as well.
If you've been in Joburg over the past week or so, you may have noticed a large number of butterflies flying together in groups. Although this migration happens each and every single year, this year's butterfly fever hit even harder. Today I'm here at the University of Johannesburg's Zoology Department to learn a little bit more about this migration. Devin, what exactly are these butterflies that we've been seeing flying around Johannesburg over the past week or so?
These butterflies are brown-veined white butterflies. At least the majority of them are. So the migration seems to originate in the western interior of the country, the arid western interior. So the Karoo and the Kalahari. But all along the route from the Karoo and the Kalahari all the way to Mozambique, butterflies join the migration.
There's been a lot of speculation around where these butterflies are headed. Some say they're going to Mozambique, others say they're going to Madagascar. Where exactly are they headed?
We don't actually know. It appears as though they are heading in the direction of Madagascar, but whether they actually reach Madagascar, nobody really knows. They haven't really been seen in Madagascar as part of this migration. They have been seen over the sea off the coast of Mozambique, but it's quite likely that they die in the sea and they don't actually reach Madagascar, but we don't know. This migration is important because butterflies are pollinators. They pollinate the bottom of the food chain, of plants. So plants along this corridor are able to be pollinated, and this will increase the genetic diversity along the corridor, which is quite important. Another reason why this migration is so important is that it supports a large and dynamic ecosystem that includes predatory insects, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and even fish. So all of these different organisms feed off the migration.
This migration happens each and every single year, but this year we saw a lot more butterflies. Why is that?
Their migration, as far as we know, is influenced by rainfall and things like that. And so it's likely that the seasons this year have just been more favorable for butterfly migration. And so along the whole migratory corridor from the western interior all the way to northern Mozambique, they have experienced favorable rain, and so this has allowed them to join the migration in greater numbers. What's quite interesting with this migration, as opposed to other migrations, is that most great migrations are driven by either climate or resources. But what's interesting about the brown-veined white migration is that, as far as we know, they only go one direction. So they migrate from west to northeast and don't come back. The reason the migration is able to continue every year is because the founders of the migration lay eggs before they leave, and they lay eggs along the route. And so every year, those eggs hatch into caterpillars, which metamorphosize into butterflies, which then continue the migration or restart the migration. So technically, this is rather an immigration as opposed to a migration.
We thank them for the awesome spectacle, and wherever their GPS is taking them, may they get there and may it all have been worthwhile.
How beautiful is that, guys?
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Really unique as well. I love
Yeah.
that. It's a one-way migration.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Very, very, very cool stuff. Thank you so much for that report.
And if you do have any more pictures or videos,
Share them.
Videos of your dogs frolicking. That's very
in
sweet.
the meadow, send them through to us, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3 on Facebook. Are we going to take a quick break, guys? There's lots more coming up. A young, very, very excited Miguel just walked in. He's a young flutist. Is it a flautist?
Flautist.
Flautist. He's getting ready to
He's
so adorable. You should have seen his smile when I walked in this morning. He was sitting in the green room holding his flute. He was like, just so happy to be here, and I can't wait to hear from him.
You want to hear him. You do want to hear him play, so we'll see you after this.
Apply for your American Express Gold or Platinum card and get 20% off your food bill, or a complimentary appetizer, or a free bottle of wine every time you use your card at participating taste restaurants around the country. Apply now at americanexpress.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now, the Artscape Theatre's annual education and training program seeks to remove barriers that could stand in the way of accessing the arts. And furthermore, it seeks to give a platform to previously marginalized art forms and develop South Africa's next generation of arts and performance practitioners. Now, the Artscape Theatre's CEO, Marlene Leroux, along with intern Nolutando, join us this morning, also with flautist Miguel, who, as I said earlier on this morning when I arrived, had the biggest smile on his face, and he still has it right now. Nolutando, Marlene, great to have both of you here as well. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I just want to say to our little wonderful future orchestra member, he's all the way from Pella.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Welcome.
And today is not just about Artscape, it's also about Nolotando. And Nolotando is going to, she's also a surfer, she's an intern at Artscape, because we believe that persons with disabilities must have a job. It's about dignity. So as Artscape, as a theatre, it's also about accessibility and giving artists with disability a chance and opportunities on stage, but also a job. So Nolotando is also going to California. So we're saying, wow.
That is very, very exciting. Nolotando, tell me about this opportunity. You're going to California. What's going to be happening there, and how excited are you about that?
First of all, I am going to California.
Yeah.
For the world adopting surfing, which is I am going to represent myself and also the Artscape and also the South Africa Day. And I am very proud of myself. I am very proud to be a disabled person.
And we are certainly very proud of you and for the groundbreaking steps that you're making in your own career as well and representing our country. Marlene, this opportunity, how did it come about, and what does this initiative seek to then achieve with affording Nolotando the opportunity to go to California?
We're part of the YES program of the presidency. And Artscape made a decision that we're going to take in young people with disabilities. Irrespective whether you're in sports or it's about accessibility and bring people into the theatre because it's audience development. So Nolotando expresses herself through the surfing as well. But then we gave her behind the scenes to be part of our administration. So it means a lot to us. But secondly, we also have the set works. But we also have the youth orchestra development program that we work with the Philharmonic Orchestra. So for the young people also of the outlying areas, so that we can say in future that the Philharmonic Orchestra is about the people of South Africa. And that's why we start with this young man from Pella, because you need, as you know, as a musician, you need to start to play the violin and the flute or the classical instruments from a very young age to be a professional and to travel the world and to represent South Africa. And we work alongside the Western Cape Education Department. But we also say to ourselves that we need to have music and the visual arts and all our arts genre in our schools as a subject. As science and maths are of utmost importance, so is music
absolutely.
important.
I couldn't agree more.
And that's why people will ask us, is that our mandate? We say, yes, it is our mandate.
Miguel Titus, that is your name, little man. And it sounds like a famous name already, like you're going to be world famous one day. Tell me about why you love playing the flute so much.
It puts me in a, how can I say, place that I just love playing the flute or making music. It makes me feel good.
And how many hours a day do you spend practicing? How long do you practice in a week? Do you know?
I don't know actually. I don't count my hours, but a lot.
And that's it right there, man. You got to respect and love the process as well. And I'm very excited to hear you playing a little bit later on. Are you excited about that?
Yes.
Wonderful to have you here. All right, so quickly tell us about how we can keep on supporting the program that you do provide at the Artscape Theatre, and in so doing, allow young people like these two here to really live out their dreams.
We have a resource centre that looks also at training for professional artists on how to write a business plan, how to able to market yourself, because if you're an artist, you're an entrepreneur. You are your own boss.
Absolutely.
And what it is to be auditioning, how to register, in particular, your new composition. So we have Samra also there. We have Women's Zone that helps women to write their stories, new narrative, new stories, new voices program. So it's all encompasses. It's not just about being on stage. We have a technical internship program for sound engineering, light designers to travel the world. But most important, we also have the set works for grade 12s. So all the set works that is in our schools, we then dramatize it with professional actors and put it on stage.
Yeah. 11th of February, 11 a.m. Quickly tell me about what is happening on that day.
Then we launch our entire program, and then we also have a lunch hour concert that we're launching for the entire communities, a free concert, and that is at 1 o'clock. So every term we're giving back to our communities a free concert. Everybody's coming, and then all our associated companies with the Michaelis, with Norotando, with everybody is giving back to our city and to the Western Cape.
Wonderful stuff. The passion certainly flows through all of you, and we're very, very happy to have you here this morning. If you'd like to find out more, you can follow at Artscape Theatre on social media.
Oh, it's a big celebration. We are so proud of you, Norotando, as well as Miguel Titus. We're celebrating local artists this morning, from developing the skills of the youth in the artscape to uplifting independent artists onto a global scale.
Absolutely. Now, Paradise Sound System is providing that platform to make their live recordings available across streaming, generate revenue and increase download numbers. Now, sharing his knowledge on how to make it big in the industry is none other than Zakes Bantwini.
There's no doubt that South Africa has a healthy pool of musical talent just waiting to be explored both locally and internationally. But the question for emerging artists usually is, how do they go about being discovered? Well, that's where a newly launched initiative called Paradise Sound System comes in. Sarah, you are the founder of the Africa Rising Music Conference, which forms a huge part of Paradise Sound System. For those who aren't familiar with this brilliant platform, tell us more about it.
Awesome. So Africa Rising Music Conference, or also known as the ARMC, is a conference that focuses on the development of artists and executives from South Africa into the world. So we want to be an arm for those into the rest of the world, but also an arm for the rest of the world into South Africa.
You've helped develop artists such as AKA Mikasa, to name but a few, and as part of Paradise Sound System, you are going to be hosting a workshop. What exactly will you be equipping artists with in this workshop?
I started my career back in the days with Lockenville, and we started completely independent, and I was sort of thrown into the business, and here I am today, still focused and very passionate about being independent. And the conference is really focused on what can artists do with the raw talent that they have, but with the knowledge that we can provide in order to develop themselves and their businesses.
In town for the debut of this German-South African initiative was guest speaker Rolf Buger, CEO and founder of Berlin-based Paradise Distribution.
What is your perception of South African music talent since you've been here so far?
There is more than I've expected. So I already knew from the beginning that there's a lot of talent, but talent can be raw, and you don't see the talent from the beginning. You just see a person and you think, okay, he's a good entertainer or performer, but the voice is not really shaped or modified yet. You need to invest probably 3, 4, 5 years training to get it on the next level, but it's better than I've expected.
What are your future plans for Paradise Sound System in South Africa?
We would like to do the Paradise Sound System in the future also in other cities in Africa. We always like to cooperate with local organizations or local studios like the Jazzworks studio. End of May there's the Africa Rising Music Conference, and at the moment we're in talks just to combine it also, that we talk about how the Paradise Sound System works, and there might be an education workshop again, and then people can already apply then before for being part of the sound system, so we take care of the production, and we always combine it with local activities.
Lending his voice to the program is celebrated South African recording artist, label owner, producer and UNICEF ambassador Zakes Bantwini.
Indie Foundation is very important in this particular space because, as you know, a lot of artists are independent, you know, so a lot of artists still need to understand the industry. So if Indie Foundation, Paradise Sound System, you know, conference, it's a serious tripartite alliance in making it easier for artists to have not only a South African career, but an international career.
I decided to be part of this initiative because it was offering such a great platform and on a global level, not just locally. And it's something as an independent artist that mattered a lot to me because, you know, as an independent, you come across a lot of challenges, financially and otherwise. And what Paradise Sound System is offering was a great thing for me in terms of platform, but also experience.
To be a part of a platform that can actually transcend these challenges and you know, especially taking the music abroad and giving it a much bigger weight in terms of, you know, getting it out there and having people see your brand and know who you are. I think that's an undeniable place of excitement, and I'm just really happy to be a part of it.
And this is a great opportunity for up-and-coming musicians to expose their music and have a platform where they can just you know, showcase their music to an international audience, you know, not just locally, you know, because, you know, with the internet, you know, you can reach everybody in the world.
What would you say young emerging artists battle with while trying to break into the industry?
Well, there's a massive struggle with regards to knowledge, of course, and that's what we're tackling with the ARMC, the Africa Rising Music Conference, as well as our workshops. But another struggle is resource, and how are artists getting booked in order to create cash flow, in order for them to then create the product, the music, the videos. So what's exciting is with Paradise Sound System is we're providing artists with a platform to perform, whereby we're recording it professionally with Jazzworks Studios, the audio and the video, and we're providing them with those tools in order to amplify their release of the music that they're performing on Paradise Sound System.
This is such a brilliant initiative. I must say, one of the best things an artist can do for themselves is equip themselves with enough knowledge and skill while trying to break into the industry. And if you are an emerging artist and happen to miss this cycle of Paradise Sound System, don't worry, because it promises to be back next year even bigger and better.
To bring Africa to the world. I love that.
Well, there is this kind of flavor of the month, yes, I know, around kind of Africa, but you forget that the bedrock, the groundwork that needs to be done to propel an artist. I love the fact that they're working on these dual platforms of developing their talent, yes, but also giving them the critical business skills. But the most important thing for me is that one-on-one time with a producer, with a sound engineer, with someone who could actually be the missing key to launching your career. Superb, absolutely amazing stuff.
Love. I already had a
Made me
coffee.
hungry.
Do you want to get...
all of that industry made me really. I am actually really hungry. Can I have some cheesecake this morning?
Cheesecake.
I know it's a lot to take in this early in the morning, but I'm hungry and I deserve it.
But it's fine.
So we're going to continue. We're going to introduce you to the winner of the Sun Met, an incredible race won by an incredible horse. We'll introduce you to the team behind One World after this.
Only the highest grade Arabica beans. McCafe. Great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
back to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso live on SABC3. It's that time of the morning where we zoom in on your birthdays and wish you well on your birthday. But first, we've got some celebrities, some top names in the world who celebrate their birthdays. Who do you share your birthday with? Who
If you are celebrating your birthday, you are sharing with none other than the legendary Bob Marley. A fun fact about Bob Marley, he's a man who doesn't need much introduction because his music speaks to many of us. He was born on this day, 6th of February, 1945 in 9 Mile, British Jamaica, and passed away on the 11th May, 1981. Now, he's a pioneer of reggae music. His compilation album, Legend, subsequently became the best-selling reggae album of all time. He was the mastermind behind hits such as Is This Love, Is This Love, No Woman, No Cry, Redemption Song. Maybe I should do my own rendition of his Legend album. Now, he was an important... Oh, look at that. Back in the days, man, killing it.
What a figure. What an absolute figure.
He was a pioneer of reggae music. He advocated for Pan-Africanism. He would have turned 75 today. So happy birthday to you, Bob Marley.
Happy birthday.
Another star that you're celebrating your birthday with is Charlie Heaton. Now, many people know him as the actor. He's a musician. He's also a model. But we know him for his role as Stranger Things. Love him to bits. Now, he's always, if he's not on set, living his best life, he's also out with his girlfriend, which is Natalie Dyer, but she's also his co-star in Stranger Things.
And they're in a relationship in Stranger Things.
You know what I'm saying? So just there, but you are celebrating your birthday with important people today. So if you are celebrating it, happy birthday, guys.
And that's because you are so important, every single one of you. And now we take a look at your birthdays, you special people. We got this beautiful video. It was sent. It's in celebration of Avi Arendse. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Avi Arendse. Let's take a look.
To the light of our life, the center of our hearts, we would like to wish Avi Gabriel Arendse a very happy 7th birthday.
From your best friend, happy birthday, Avi.
And your auntie, Alexis, and Oma and Pa, we really can't wait to celebrate with you later on.
We love you.
Happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. That is so sweet, Avi Arendse. And then we got Desiree Smith, who just turned 10 years old today. Ma se groot kind, vreeslik lief vir jou, my liefie. Mag jy 'n wonderlike dag, liefde van mama, papa, and your crazy boetie and sissies. Love you lots. Happy
Look at
birthday.
you,
Oh,
Uncle
yes.
Tabsy.
Oh, yes.
Multilingual. For what?
Multi-talented.
The next one goes to Karentia. Happy 20th birthday. May God bless you abundantly. This comes from your mom, dad, sisters, and niece. And another one, keeping it flowing. A happy 45th birthday to Brenda Daniels. May God keep blessing you. Enjoy your special day, Brenda.
And then today we are celebrating twins. Happy 44th birthday to the twins, Jennifer and Jeanette. Thank God for adding another year on their lifespan. We love you. Happy birthday to you guys. 44, look at them. They look very young.
Jennifer and Jeanette.
Tell
Love
us
it.
what is your secret. And this one goes to Tamlin. I would like to wish my mom, Tamlin Davis, a very happy birthday. May God bless you with many years to come. I love you very much. Have a great day from your son, Lincoln, and family. Happy birthday, Mommy.
That's stunning. And then Candace, a birthday shout out to my eldest daughter, it says here. Candace, who's turning 26 today. Have a blessed and wonderful day, my girl. We love you. That's from your mom, your stepdad, your daughter, your brothers, and your sister. They absolutely love you and they wish you well on your birthday, Candace. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Now, if you would love to wish a loved one, you know, a colleague, your boss, a happy birthday, you can simply send us a 15-second video rather to 071-640-6551 or simply email birthdays@cardova.tv. Now, if you are celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you.
The time now 2 minutes after 7 o'clock, and here are your Thursday morning headlines. On the national front, Turkey's Car Power Ship, one of the world's largest power ship firms, has submitted a plan to South Africa to provide several ships capable of plugging a severe power shortage in the country. Speaking on the sidelines of the African Mining Conference in Cape Town, Car Power Ship Global Sales Director Patrick O'Driscoll said they can generate electricity at a cost far below what it costs Eskom to run its diesel-fired peaking plants. Meanwhile, Eskom announced last night that Stage 2 rotational load shedding would continue until tomorrow, with a high probability of repeats over the weekend as well. The power utility said in a statement that it regrets having to take these steps, but that it was due to a shortage of capacity and a higher demand for electricity. Earlier yesterday, Eskom also said it would not be able to suspend Stage 2 load shedding during the afternoon rush hour. Taking a look at international news headlines, miraculously, only one person was killed and 157 injured when a Pegasus airline Airlines Boeing 737 skidded off the runway and broke apart while landing in Istanbul's Sabiha Gökçen Airport yesterday afternoon. Now, the airlines said that the plane was attempting to land in heavy tailwinds and rain when it skidded some 60 meters after touching down before plunging 40 meters down a ditch and bursting into flames. The majority of the 171 passengers and 6 crew members on board were Turkish, but there were also about 20 foreign nationals. Now, one of the last remaining great Tusker elephants in Kenya has died of natural causes in the Amboseli National Park, aged 50. Kenya Wildlife Services said the much-beloved Tim's body would be sent to a taxidermist in Nairobi so that it could go on display. African elephants are referred to as tuskers when their tusks can reach the ground, and Tim's weighed a surprising 45 kilograms each. Former Save the Elephants field assistant Ryan Wilkie said the gentle giant was, quote, incredibly intelligent, mischievous, and a real ambassador for his species. And now news of when and where we can meet our Queen of the Universe. You remember that yesterday we did report on South Africa's Queen of the Universe, Zozibini Tunzi's homecoming tour. And now we have more details. She arrives in Johannesburg on Saturday, and members of the public are encouraged to attend from 7 a.m. Now, firstly, she will visit Zolo, her hometown, arriving there on Saturday afternoon on a colourful float draped in the colours of the South African flag. On Sunday, she'll reveal a mural created in her honour, and Monday will see her visiting her former primary school, Canaan Academy, together with her mother. And on Thursday morning, she will drive through the streets of Johannesburg on an open-top bus. And that same evening, she will also be President Cyril Ramaphosa's personal guest when he delivers his State of the Nation address in Parliament. Zozi will also tour the streets of the mother city on Friday, the 14th. And finally, turning our gaze into the world of entertainment, how do you cap off a perfect fairy tale wedding that took place in a vineyard on the Western Cape? Well, you jet off for a fantastic honeymoon to the Maldives, of course. And that's exactly what newlyweds Miss Universe 2017, Demi-Lee Nell-Peters, and her American footballer husband, Tim Tebow, are doing, as their stunning Instagram posts show. And we'll have more on this in our full entertainment report. Well, right now, here's a quick look at the world of sports with Graham.
Well, before we give you details on how you can score yourself VIP tickets, broaching those sporting headlines this morning, defending Nedbank Cup champions TS Galaxy have been knocked out of the competition. That was after suffering a 3-0 loss to Chippa United at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in the opening round of 32 last night. Chitty Boys securing the win through a stunner from Khamaldin and a brace from Quem. And there'll be one Nedbank Cup fixture this evening. That's Ajax Cape Town up against TS Sporting at home at the Athlone Stadium from 7:30 tonight. A little further afield, Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur, they've advanced to the FA Cup 5th round after beating Southampton 3-2 in the 4th round replay at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium late last night. It was star forward Son Heung-min who scored an 86-minute penalty to secure the win for Spurs. They'll now face Norwich City in March. And then finally onto motorsport, the 4th race of the 2020 Formula 1 season, the Chinese Grand Prix, taking place at the Shanghai International Circuit, might not take place due to the outbreak of the coronavirus. Sports authorities in Shanghai have recommended that all sporting events be suspended in the city as a result of the virus. Last week, of course, the 2020 World Athletics Indoor Championships scheduled to take place from the 13th to the 15th of March in China, also postponed until next year. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Thank you so much, G. Let's take a look at what's happening on the road this morning. Now, if you find yourself in Gauteng, Bedfordview, there's been a multi-vehicle accident on the N3 northbound before the Gelden Hayes interchange. The emergency lane is obstructed and causing delays, so please approach with caution. In the Western Cape, Guguletu on the N2 inbound, there has been a multi-vehicle accident after Borchard's Quarry Road obstructing the left lane. So again, please do keep a lookout for this. And then lastly, on the Metro Rail Monte Vista line, there is currently a pantograph hookup before Kentermaid. All trains on the Monte Vista line remain stationary, so please allow for an extended travel time this morning. That's where you leave your traffic for now. Let's take a look at the world of the weather.
The time is now 7:08, and as we do every morning, we ask you to send in your sunrise pictures. Our regular photographer, Nancy Governor, sent us the spectacular sunrise from Umgomaz, where cloudy conditions are expected with afternoon thunderstorms and occasional rain in the evening, reaching a maximum of 29 degrees. Thank you so much for that picture. Another regular, James Turner, sent us this beautiful sunrise from Durban, where times of clouds and sunshine can be expected with humid conditions and a strong afternoon thunderstorm, reaching a maximum of 29 degrees. Thank you so much for those sunrise pictures. Now keep them going, keep them flowing on our social media platforms. We absolutely love seeing them. Now to have a look at the temperatures for the rest of the country, starting off with Polokwane. Thunderstorms are expected for Polokwane at a low of 20, reaching a high of 29. Now if you're in Bombela, expect temperatures ranging from 21, peaking at 34 today. A couple of showers for Pretoria at 18, reaching a high of 30, and Johannesburg 16, 28, and heavy rainfall for Mahikeng at 18:30. Looks like it's going to be a wet day in major parts of the country, so make sure to keep yourselves covered and protected from the rain. Klerksdorp 17, 29. Occasional rain for Kimberley as well, with a high of 33 and a low of 20. Bloemfontein 17, 30, and thunderstorms are expected for Richards Bay at 22, reaching a high of 31. It's a rainy day in Pietermaritzburg as well, with a low of 19, reaching a high of 30. A couple of showers for Durban at 23, peaking at 29. Now down to the Eastern Cape, Mthatha with a low of 16, reaching a high of 23, and heavy rainfall for East London in Monti, which peaks at 23 today with a low of 18. Now Klerksdorp is also a rainy day with 14, 22 as their temperatures, and Port Elizabeth, my hometown, has a low of 18, reaching a high of 21 today. Now southeasterly wind of 15 kilometers an hour in George at a low of 16, reaching a high of 18. It's going to be low temperatures for George today, so make sure to keep yourselves covered. And the lowest temperature in the country goes to Sutherland today with a low of 10 degrees and a high of 20. Now southwest easterly wind of 43 kilometers an hour in the mother city at a low of 17, reaching a high of 22. And Worcester 15, 22. Springbok, at least it's going to be a sunny day in Springbok with a high of 23 degrees and a low of 13. And the highest temperature in the country goes to Uppington, which peaks at 37 today with a low of 27. Whichever part of the country you're in today, make sure to have yourselves a fantastic Thursday morning.
Now, of course, the biggest highlight of the past weekend was Africa's richest race day, which took place at Kenilworth Racecourse. The Sun Met. And, of course, the biggest story of the day is who walks away with the coveted title of the Sun Met. And the horse that crossed that finish line first is called One World. And this morning we're joined by his jockey, MJ Bielefeld, and owner, Etienne Braun, in studio. Two very, very proud gentlemen, I'm very sure, who are still reveling in the remnants of that victory. A very good morning to you and welcome to the show, guys.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
On one scale, fantastic race. You really had to push for that one. It seemed physically quite a duel out there. Obviously, that final stretch against Rainbow Bridge, I think, had everyone on the edge of their seat. But how do you feel, Etienne, when it's been a long road that you have run with this horse camp so close in the Queen's Plate? How good does it feel in this moment?
That's a magnificent feeling. We're still on cloud nine. We'll enjoy it and take a while to come back down to earth. But a phenomenal ride by MJ. He got the pace perfect. He rode the perfect race.
Yeah, from start to finish.
You were telling us earlier on that, you know, you kind of get a special feeling, you know, when you have a particular kind of horse that has a certain kind of ability. But further than that, there's a lot of training, there's a lot of grooming that goes into preparing one of the fastest horses in the country for a moment like this. And tell us about that a little bit, open up that world to us.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of time and dedication put in by the trainer, the assistants, all the staff around the stables, the grooms. They're up at 4 in the morning, and it's a 24/7 job. These guys never sleep. They're always busy, and it's afternoon work, feeding, grooming, looking after the well-being of the horse, and it pays dividends in the end when they win a race like that.
Yeah.
MJ, you get a sense that this plays out on two levels. I can understand why jockeys are some of the fittest athletes on the planet when you look at a grueling race like that, but there seems to be a connection there. How do you get the most out of a horse like One World?
Yeah, I think, when you ride that type of horse in the class that he's got, it's a big plan, like Etienne said, and working with his horse from when he got to the stables, we always knew he had something in him, a big race in him. He started off very well, and he actually hasn't stopped if you look at his record. But yeah, I think it's just the connection with the horse and working him basically every morning. You know how good he is, and it's just phenomenal to get him
to that stage where he ends up winning that type of race, and the expectations have sort of been there from us at the stables and from all the clients and Etienne, Mr. Truter and Bram van Eysteen that's involved. He expected it. He was very low-key before, but there was always a connection, and I always felt that this should win something big, and it's just fantastic that it has worked off.
During the race, did you know it? Could you feel it?
I was about to ask, because Etienne said you rode the perfect race. Is that how it felt throughout?
Yeah, obviously we came from a wide draw, and it doesn't make it easy, and he came from one off the outside, and when I jumped out and I was about a length clear, I was like, whoa, we're onto something here, and I read the race exactly before I'd planned out. The pacemaker was in there, and I had Rainbow Bridge next to me, and Ryan Moore ended up pulling back and following me, which obviously knew that was the right horse would pull him through. And we came around the corner, and I gave him a little bit of a breather because I thought we were going quite hard, and he came back to me, and when I asked him in the straight, he gave me a very good kick and got a bit lazy halfway up the straight, and it's only when Rainbow Bridge actually joined him, he put his head down, and
it's like, not again, huh?
Sort of, he's a fighter.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's awesome.
Looking at these images, it's kind of one of those unique experiences that you, as a jockey, can have with a tight bond that you have with your horse, and understanding the dynamics of a race. If somebody out there would love to experience that, what are the steps that you take in order to become a professional jockey?
Well, there's an academy, like I started in Durban, the South African Jockeys Academy, and you do a 5-year apprenticeship there.
Sure.
And then from there, it's obviously you get thrown into the wild, deep world. And I mean, as an apprentice, you start racing against all the other senior jockeys. You get a claiming allowance, and from there, it just carries on. And I've been very fortunate to, through the academy, have built up good relationship with a good yard, and then managed to get a sponsorship from Avontier Estate, which is a wine farm, and they breed horses as well.
Yeah.
And I've been very fortunate to have them backing me, and it's a great brand to be carrying, and people in racing that know them, I'm really proud to actually have them supporting me, and it's fantastic.
What a journey.
That takes advantage. Etienne, what's next for this amazing horse?
Oh, we're undecided yet. Obviously, he's still a colt, so his breeding career is ahead of him. He's very well bred, which will uplift the mares in this country as well. So undecided yet. If we were to race, obviously off to the July season, but he'll have a well-deserved break as of now.
Surely you have to do the July now, come on.
It's a little bit more complicated than that, weights come into play, etc., because he is the equal highest rated horse in the country at the moment. So it's very hard to win the July with 60 kilos, but we'll make a decision shortly, and then we'll see where he goes from there.
Wow. Well, be sure to give us a heads up when his first fold comes to the yearling sale. Need to start investing some money there, man. Well done, Jim.
Put yourself on the list, man. But gentlemen, congratulations again. Thank you so much for stepping in here, and enjoy being on Clyde now for a while longer still.
We will do. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Well done to One World and, of course, his team for all of the hard work they did to achieve this exhilarating win. Of course, stay tuned. Also, after the break, we meet the winner of the Best Dressed at the Sun Met.
welcome back to it, you beautiful people. Your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso live on SABC3. Thank you so much for choosing to start your Thursday off on the right side of bed. Now, 2020 is already off to a good start when it comes to movies to be on the lookout for when it comes to the box office. Movies we heard about last year, maybe lots of articles about them, but this time around we're checking out the trailers of all these movies that you need to be in anticipation of in this first quarter of the year. And who better to tell us all about this and more when it comes to movies than our very own resident movie guru. I'm talking about JP Sebastian. JP, good morning.
Good morning.
How's that excited smile? Are you excited about the movies or excited to just see me? Because you haven't seen me for a while.
Whatever makes you happiest. I'm worried about your happiness, not your excitement so much.
Okay, well, let's delve right into it. The Fast and the Furious.
The Fast and the Furious, 9. Number 9. There is a 9th one. Aren't you excited?
No, I mean, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone out there who is excited, but I am just like,
You're allowed
honestly
to have an opinion.
I'm not going to be rushing to the cinema to watch this one fast and furiously.
That's good. Drive safely then. So obviously we've got not The Rock, certainly not The Rock, JP, but Diesel.
Yeah.
Diesel returning and the family.
Yeah.
I admit I did burst out laughing immediately when I watched this trailer for the first time because it starts with him saying, "I used to live my life a quarter mile at a time." It's like, come on, we know the quote, and the quote is exhausted. So in the trailer already, like, oh, by the way, bad guy, John Cena.
Hey, you can see him.
Yes, that we know of. That might be CG, though. It might be green screen. John Cena might... Yes, that is a perfectly natural way for a car to behave. Actually, that's a good thing, though, that we're looking at there is, for me at least, and I'm sure for a lot of fans, there's a return to, like, the street racing type thing. You're seeing normal-looking cars. They don't all have tank parts fitted to them.
And 8 pipes at the back of them and 2 on either side.
Yeah, well, maybe that's illegal. I don't know. But it looks like it's going a bit back to those roots, except you've got, fortunately, Charlize Theron returning, who was, I think, a really good bad guy in the previous one. And here she is seized on the talents of John Cena's character, who reveals himself to be none other than family to Dominic Toretto. So the dude who goes on about family for like the past, I don't know, over a decade that these movies has been happening, secretly has a brother who, I don't know, John Cena for me does not look remotely like he's related to Vin Diesel.
No,
I don't know why they gave him that kind of slick hair as well. Maybe to, I don't know, make him look bald or something.
You've also got Tyrese Gibson there.
Yes, and that's an interesting story as well. We were just talking about now. So we just saw Hobbs and Shaw, and Hobbs and Shaw obviously was The Rock and Jason Statham, who we won't see returning for this. And Tyrese Gibson is thankful for that because these dudes are so petty. They get paid tens of millions of dollars, and the two of them were like, "Nah, we're not acting in the same movie together."
They don't want to work together.
They had stupid beefs. It's like, guys, you get paid like a tenth of the economy of South Africa. Just take it and go.
So for all of those really excited about Fast and Furious now, when does it come out?
That is May.
I'll tell you now, 22nd of May, 2020, that's coming out. And then Mulan. Hey, that's Graham's birthday as well. So that's definitely your birthday gift from me. I'm buying you a ticket, Graham.
One for the meatheads, like Graham.
Mulan is also coming out this March, the 27th.
I'm so psyched about this, seriously. My inner girl is so giddy about Mulan. And that's just for the music, which, for a start, which this trailer would reveal as they've removed all the lyrics. There's no chance of lyrics returning to this. No one's sing-songy. It's just awesome scores. The award for Best Costume for 2021 Oscars already goes to Mulan. The cinematography is gorgeous. Maybe not so much in the fight scenes, but just the still shots, the mood of the entire thing is amazing. And so this trailer reveals a bit more of the fight side of things. We got into, in the previous trailer, this is the final one before the release, like you said, in March 27th. And now we're getting into how the battles look. It's not just the touchy-feelies, but also the touchy-feelies within the conflicts. This moment in the trailer, which I think my editor cut, whatever. Watch it for yourself. There's this beautiful moment where, you know, all the men, because this character, Mulan, is this woman who is secretly hidden as a man, they're all lined up and they're shouting, honor, loyalty, and they're throwing their swords up, and then when she has to shout true, she, like, wavers for a second because it's about being your true self. I'm just so excited, guys.
Yeah, but listen, there is every single reason to be excited about this one. It's also getting so much great reviews from people who've already written about it. Hype, rather, not reviews, hype around it. So hopefully that's a good one. That's out on the 27th of March. It's Mulan. JP Sebastian's going nowhere. A little bit later on, we're taking a look at some trailers of movies to be on the lookout for. Right now, though, time to check out who wore it best at the Sun Met.
Yeah, Africa's richest race day, the Summit, is all about horses, celebs, entertainment, and of course, the most exciting of all, fashion. And this morning we're joined by the winner of the Best Dressed Female competition, Retale, who's here to share her exciting win with us and show us her gorgeous outfit that she wore on the day. Let's give her a warm and big Expresso welcome. Yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Mama, can I just say, I was on the red carpet. I was doing interviews. I saw you from afar away, this green that you were sharing. I was like, this girl's going to win Best Dressed. And then, of course, the announcement came.
Yes.
And then on Instagram, even when a Rich Mnisi comments on your post, that is levels. How does that feel for you?
Oh, my word. Like, I felt amazing, honestly. Like, winning the competition for me was something that I haven't really experienced before. Well, competitions like that per se. So yeah, it was really like humbling for me, for everyone to see my outfit, because it was such a lot of preparation. This dress is such a statement piece. It was just a lot.
Yeah.
And
talk us through that, the preparation, because you don't just walk around and you go, that green number there. There's a lot of thought that goes into it, a lot of work, I'm assuming fittings, all of these kind of things. So take us through that process.
So the theme was African luxury visionary.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, I knew that I wanted to do something big and something bold. And I thought imprint, because I feel like his brand truly emanates the essence of what African luxury is. And yeah, I just thought to myself, you know what? Let's do something royal. Let's do something luxury. Since it was visionaries, I thought, let's do something that I thought would really represent what African fashion will be in the future.
Oh, wow.
Love, love, love it. Now, take us through the competition, because you had, of course, Miss South Africa, Sashili Laurel, Aisha Baker, Bake the Blogger, as we know her, on the panel of judges, and you're walking down that little ramp. Take us through every moment, and what was like some of the highlights of that day?
So, winning was great.
As it should be.
Yeah, winning was great. But I think I truly appreciated, before they actually announced the winner, people from the audience were coming to me, like backstage, were coming to me like, oh my God, we know you're gonna win. Can we have a picture with you already?
Really?
Yes. So it was a truly humbling experience for me. Walking down the stage was like, wow, yeah, I just felt the crowd and I felt the energy and I felt the love. It was amazing. It was amazing.
And I mean, at the end of the day, this is one of the most anticipated and biggest events on the calendar in terms of social calendar, as far as they go. What was your overall experience of Africa's Richest Race Day?
So I've attended the Summit 4 years in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I feel like every year it just becomes better and better. This year, I loved the fact that they opened up the after party to the crowd or the masses, the public. And when I walked in there and Black Coffee was playing, I felt like, you know, yeah, I was very like, you know, it was a very exciting experience for me, and I loved how everyone was just coming together to enjoy this event and to enjoy the music and to enjoy Africa.
Girl, I need you to do a young twirl for everybody and show, so stand up for me and just show South Africa why you won Best Dressed at Africa's Rich Day. Yes, Queen, come through.
People are losing their minds here.
Love it. Imprint essay.
So now I've got to ask, having won, and you said you've attended 4 years in a row, you've won this year Best Dressed.
Yes.
Is there a pressure to come back next year and defend your crown, as it were?
Listen, I am always ready and excited to do big things. I will never hold back. That's one thing for sure. I will always take it on. So if it's not as good as this, then I would be wasting my time.
Wow. I'm assuming designers will be clamoring up the walls to design something for you for next year. But congratulations to you.
Thank you so
well done.
much. Thank you
so gorgeous. Now, we are not green with envy about Rita's winning look. Rather, she's serving us all the style inspiration we need. Now, it's time to start getting ready for the Summit 2021, and we are here for it.
Wow, what
Imagine starting to get ready in 2020 for Summit 2021.
I think when you've just seen Rita's look and you've just been inspired by that, you kind of already want to go on to like your sketches and start thinking about what color palettes, what things to do. And then when the theme gets announced a bit later on in the year, then you just integrate the theme and bits and pieces.
But that's
I suppose a beautiful look. What did you wear?
I wore Victor K. Couture. I'm not sure if you can see it. Just this princess was actually asking because she hasn't seen pictures.
Do you see, Princess?
Such a comfortable picture. I mean, dress. I love the print.
Yeah.
It felt like it was changing shape with each pose.
It looks like it was changing
but it's
shape.
not.
Yeah.
And then it's flowing.
Oh,
you know,
man.
butterfly.
You were also
Absolutely love
rocking
it.
the poses as well. Jamie Lee, what did you? You wore that beautiful white number.
I was in all white, and of course you were my +1.
Oh, yes.
So Vanessa Robertson could swirl on the red carpet.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I love the white. Felt
That
awesome,
is
but yeah,
beautiful.
it was
You look
amazing.
like an angel.
And what's
Thank
crazy
you.
is that she had that dress done in 1 day.
2 days. 2 days.
2
Vanessa
days.
Robertson
Wow.
just killed that dress.
Wow, Princess,
Wow.
hey, inspired.
2021.
We are there.
2021.
You are my date, my dear.
Yes. Listen, we are within.
We'll see you guys after this. Can we have a cup of coffee?
Please.
Rise and shine. There's no better way to wake up other than with Mackie D's for breakfast. Download the McDonald's app for delicious daily deals and start your day the right way.
Hey, babe, check this.
Fascinating.
You know, I don't mean to brag or anything, but
Don't ruin the moment. Prevent allergies or cold and flu with fast-acting powder nasal spray from the Nexa range. Brought to you by Pharmadynamics.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso here on SABC3. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. We, the order of the day and the order of the year, I think, definitely self-love and self-appreciation. So we posed this question to you on Facebook. What do you love most about yourself? What's that one thing about yourself that you love? And some comments have come through. Jamie Lee,
It's
what
so
are the
easy to
people
talk about the negative, but I'm loving that people's coming through with like positive energy.
Yes.
So Chimnese David said, good morning. What I love the most about myself is my resilience. No matter what I face in life, I never give up. We are here for a Chimneys.
Spirit.
Love that.
Spirit.
The next one comes through from Noma Kozasana. Says, what I love about myself is a spirit within me that no one understands but only me. It takes up a lot of me to be content. No matter the circumstances, the mood is always on positive. Yes,
Benji, spirit.
yes.
I love it.
Positive.
Then we've got one as well that came through from Lindy Weli Mnyamani, who says, I have a beautiful smile. I amaze myself at the strength and perseverance I have. Sometimes I sit back and watch myself in action and be like, who is this girl? She's so amazing.
Who is this
and
girl?
that is it. Sometimes you're not actively sort of doing this. You're unconsciously just being that person because it's who you are from the inside that just sort of shows up when you need it the most. I love that. Positive things about ourselves that we love. Continue to share those with us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3.
All right, well, we are all about self-love in our feel-good studio this morning, and it's something that's become quite a topic around the world. You know, people trying to really just find a way of centering themselves. Other than finding a balance in life, it's the one thing that people are striving to find. And self-love is simply, it's not just simply a state of feeling good about yourself, it's a state of appreciation for oneself, that you grow from actions that support your physical, your psychological, and your spiritual growth as well. In fact, for a moment, just reflect on the notion of self-love and take a look at this.
I'm a Venus. She's got it, baby, she's got it. I'm a Venus. face.
And that is exactly what we mean when we speak of representation. Just having someone on screen representing the kind of person that you are and the skin that you're in. And a perfect example of a person who exudes self-love is fashionista and content creator Yoliswa Mqoqo. Her keen eye for fashion has always made her stand out from the rest. But what we love her the most for is being unapologetic and expressing love for her skin. Yoliswa, I can't believe I'm actually interviewing you because we met just not too long ago.
Not so long ago, yeah.
Where?
Here in Cape
At
Town.
Richest soiree.
Yeah.
Soiree.
But it's wonderful to have you here.
Thanks for having me,
And a great topic to be addressing at this point in time in the world. Tell us a little bit about your growth, your story in fashion, especially the role that your mother played. I understand it was quite a pivotal one.
So I think my upbringing is a special one, or rather it's just a different one, because I think the narrative normally around fat bodies is that you had this sad life and you had no friends, and and honestly I did not have a sad life. I've had a great life, and it's been filled with a lot of beautiful memories, specifically around fashion and around my mother, who introduced me to this massive world of clothing and textures and fabrics. And I really fell in love with fashion at such a young age.
Yeah.
So because I always looked good, my mom was like, if you look good, you will feel good. And that's pretty much been the narrative like my whole life.
That's the family over there?
Yes.
Spot the mom. Which one is the mom?
We all look like sisters at this point.
Yes. I absolutely love that, man.
Yeah, so my mom was really played a pinnacle role in my upbringing and just how I see myself.
Oh, I love the smiles, the laughter. You can almost see it just jumping out of that picture. It's beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Now, Yolisa, when did you realize that fashion is your thing? And what is your take on fashion in relation to self-love?
I think I've always known that fashion is my thing. It's really the only thing I've really been good at. I've pretty much dabbled in a lot of things along the way. I studied HR at a point. And then I was like, Mom and Dad, I really just want to study fashion because it's the only thing I really feel so passionate about and makes me so happy. And I think when I decided to study it and make it official, that's when I was like, okay, this is like serious for me. But it's pretty much been a thing my whole life. And I think for me, the way that I see myself is through fashion, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, the way that I present myself really, that's where my self-love really starts. And it's just when I put on a great outfit, then already I feel like the best person on earth. So, yeah, fashion has really just played a huge role in just how I see myself and just being the person that I am today and like the career that I ended up getting into.
Yeah, and I love the fact that through your work, you're also striving to drive change throughout the fashion industry. You've said once that your biggest bully hasn't been people, but rather the South African fashion industry. Now, tell me about why that is and what change you would like to make in that industry.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think from my whole life, I wasn't really like a standout person, or people never really made me feel like that until I really started working in fashion. That's when the labels started and plus size this, and I was like, I'm not a plus size anything. I just create content like everybody else, and I think we need to do away with those labels. It just reinforces othering and making these like divisions between people and what we do. And I mean, I'm just as good as any other girl who is in fashion, who might look a little different than me, who's maybe taller or more light-skinned or thinner, but we all do the same thing, and I just don't think there should be any division. So that's really what I strive to put out there, that we should really just, you know, let's all do this together, and we don't have to do the separations.
Yeah, do away with the labels and appreciate each other's creativity and art.
100%.
Artistic impressions.
And then, Yolisa, just briefly, to someone who's struggling with self-love and confidence, what would you say to them?
You are your best as It's so hard to explain because I love to interact with people directly because everyone has a different story and a special story. But I just think that people need to understand that the best version of you is how you see yourself. Like, there will never be another you. And that uniqueness in itself, as cheesy as it sounds, but it's really the truth. Like, if you are you, there is no one else, and that's the best thing.
Yes.
That is the best thing ever. So I think when that clicked in my head, I was like, there's never going to be another replica of me. So let's just push this agenda.
Let's play either way.
We are here for it. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so
Melissa.
much, guys. Thanks for having me.
And so the moral of this hashtag My Skin My Way campaign, well, there is no one way to have beautiful skin or to show it. And together with Gillette Venus, we're giving you the chance to win 5,000 Rand.
Wow, and we want to know simply, how are you going to fall in love with yourself today? Let us know by posting on our Facebook page, Expresso. Remember to use the hashtag MySkinMyWay in your post. And remember that T's and C's do apply, and you can visit expressoshow.com to find them. But we'll see you after this.
I'm my Venus. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you weren't hungry yet, I promise you will be now. The votes are in, and the Hollywood Bunny Chow Bar has taken first prize, a coveted prize, as the favorite Bunny Chow spot in the Sasco Mzansi bread search. Now, what makes these Durban bunnies so special? Well, we sent our very own Kutle Adams to South Africa's playground to get her hands and probably her face and everything else dirty to find out why people just keep coming back for more of this quintessential South African dish.
Sasco, baking together since 1930.
Things to do as a first-time visitor in Durban, like myself, and among them is that you must be sure to have yourself a bunny. But no bunny chow is complete without a tasty and perfectly seasoned curry. Now, the curry from this family-run restaurant, the Hollywood Bunny Bar in Durban, is so good that it has a lot of locals coming back over and over again. So it's no surprise that it was voted the #1 spot for bunny chow by you for the Sasco Mzansi Bread Search. The Sasco Mzansi Bread Search had thousands of South African fans voting for their favorite bunny chow spot, and most popular by far was the Hollywood Bunny Bar in the city of Durban.
The Hollywood Beds Bunny Chow, first of all, is made with so much of love, so much of spices, and just a lot of flavor, you know, so definitely a place to come to eat your bunny chows.
Perfect way to eat a bunny chow, definitely with your fingers, the messier the better.
How does it feel to be recognized by Sasco Mzansi Bread Search as, you know, the #1 spot for a bunny chow?
It feels fantastic. The fact that people are voting for us in these great competitions shows that they do appreciate the food that we put out and the atmosphere and everything else that we have to offer here.
So the best way to eat your bunny chow is definitely with your hands. So you can see I've eaten mine as well. So love always leaves a mark. Then you know that person has definitely been to the Hollywood Bets Bunny Bar.
What makes a bunny chow is the loaf of bread that they use, definitely the filling and the spices. So yeah, the best way is to definitely eat it with your hands to get all that flavor.
The Hollywood Bunny Bar is the #1 spot because there's a lot of quality that goes into their bunnies. So you can taste that it's like proper meat, good fresh bread. It's just really tasty.
What is it about Hollywood Bunny Bar that has people coming back for more and more?
It would be the quality of service that we offer to our customers, and then we're looking at the product itself and the fact that we put our best into making sure that we're serving the best cuts of lamb. We only use Sasco bread. The warm atmosphere that we provide that's also very family orientated.
I'm interested to see how you actually make this masterpiece. So can you take me back to the kitchen?
Ask any bunny chow expert and they'll tell you how a hollowed out loaf of fresh white bread is the perfect foundation for this well-known and loved South African dish.
Amanda, there's so much action happening in the kitchen, you know, to ensure that your customers receive quality service. What's your best-selling bunny chow and why do you think your customers love it so much?
Our best-selling bunny chow would be our lamb bunny. We look at our sales, it's about 18,000 units a month. The reason for that would be basically the quality of the product itself. So firstly, we use Sasco bread only, and then our lamb is AAA grade lamb, cut them to spec. Our masala is actually mixed by one of our chefs according to a secret recipe that's been handed down to us for the last 60 years.
Amanda, I need to know what it is about your bunny chow that celebrates our very diverse culture and heritage.
It's enjoyed by a diverse group of people. It's not limited to a specific age, race. So it's enjoyed multiculturally.
Now, why do you think that the Sasco Mzansi Bread Search is such a great platform for local entrepreneurs such as yourself?
It gives us great brand exposure. With Sasco being such a big brand and their customers voting for us, we must definitely be doing something right.
The Hollywood Bunny Bar is definitely the #1 spot because you always get your quality food, you always get a great amount for the price, 100%.
There are certain South African cuisines that are best prepared and enjoyed in a particular place, and for Durban it has to be the famous bunny chow. Half of a loaf of bread, hollowed out and filled with tasty curries. Mouth-watering, isn't it? Now, the Hollywood Bunny Bar is perfect because it's known for their quick service, great portions, and consistent quality. It definitely comes highly, highly recommended.
Sasco, baking together since 1930.
Well, we're celebrating young South African talent this morning. At the start of 2020, Miguel Titus graduated from Masizale into the Cape Town Philharmonic Orchestra Music Academy, where he received specialized music tuition and is now a member of the Academy Wind Band. Well, he's here joined by Ashley Louskieter on piano, ready to perform with his flute his rendition of You Raise Me Up. Take it away, guys. absolutely beautiful. Well done, Miguel. That was absolutely special. Thank you very much for that wonderful performance, the both of you. Now, Miguel, I've got to ask you, you are so talented. You sound absolutely amazing on that flute. What are some of your big dreams that you have?
Starting my own school or being a music teacher.
Oh, that would be wonderful to learn from you one day, and I'm sure that you will have a massive impact on the community. And I mean, Ashley, for you as the accompanist, what is it like playing with such a young talent and, you know, knowing that his heart truly is in the music, as he's just said?
Yes, I want to echo what you're saying. His heart is really with the music. It's an amazing privilege to see the growth from Miguel playing the recorder now into the academy band, and there's really a bright future. I just want to make a comment. At our first concert, he said that I want to have concerts so that we could raise funds so that everyone at his school in Pella could have instruments. So that's his heart, really to give access to more kids. Yeah.
That is truly wonderful. Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing this beautiful piece of music and yourself with us as well. We wish you all of the best in your future going forward, Miguel. I'm sure you're going to attain all of those dreams. Now, be sure to make your way to the Artscape Theatre on the 11th of February, 11 a.m., the start and the launch of their 2020 program. So much to enjoy and so much to witness in terms of young talent in the South African music space that is being unearthed with the wonderful programs that they've got going on over there. In the meantime, link up with us on our social media pages, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, and let us know what you thought about that special performance by Miguel Titus. Remember that name.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's about that time where we wish you, our local viewers, a very happy birthday. It is the 6th of February. I can't believe it's already a Thursday, man. We are going straight into the weekend. But right now, though, it's time to celebrate your birthdays. And if you are celebrating your birthday, you are celebrating with Tinashe. Do you guys know Tinashe?
No. But
really?
I mean, I'm sure
She's
I
a
do.
pop star,
I'm sure I know her, but I don't really know her, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
Maybe
yes,
not
yes.
really my vibe.
You see that picture?
It's not really my vibe, I'm sure. That's
Well,
fine,
Tinashe is a multi-talented singer, songwriter, actress, and dancer who was born on this day in 1993. Many fans may not know that she was actually part of a girl group, called The Stunners between 2007 and 2011. That's Tinashe. Yeah. I didn't know that she was part of a girl group, like a young Destiny's Child.
Yeah. I mean, she's gorgeous. She's very talented.
Yeah. Got nice nails.
Stunning. She does have nice nails. Now, she describes her sound as rhythmic pop with inspiration from alternative R&B, pop, and hip-hop. And her latest album, Songs for You, was released in November 2019, which incorporates just that. Happy birthday, happy 27th birthday to you, Tinashe.
Still a youngin'. So let's see who else is sharing their birthdays with Tinashe this morning. Happy birthday, a 50th. That's a big one. Woo. To a loving husband and a father, Earl Stuurman. May you receive God's richest blessings upon you. Lots of love from your loving wife, Daisy and from Ramon and Erlen as well. Happy birthday, Earl. Then happy birthday to Dante. Have a wonderful day, and that's from your mom, your dad, your grandma, Pa, Kayla, Farron, the whole fam.
Next one comes to my naam genootjie. Happy birthday to my friend Jamie Lee Claassen. May God spare you many more years to come. Have a splendid day. This comes from your friends and Chantal and Porsche. Happy birthday, Jamie. Love
Porsche,
your
man.
name.
Porsche.
Love your
Porsche.
name.
Shirley.
Porsche. And then a happy 12th birthday to Christiana. Burst down, Christiana. We love you so much. Enjoy the day from your mommy, ma, pa, and the rest of the family.
Imagine, no, never mind. Carol is also celebrating her birthday. Congratulations to Carol on your special day. My goodness, may goodness and mercy follow. My goodness, may goodness and mercy, Cheryl, follow you all your life. God bless and enjoy. And lastly, but definitely not least, this one goes to Lulama. Happy 25th birthday, Lulama. I hope you enjoy your day. Lots of love from your cousin, Unwabisa.
Oh, amazing.
Happy birthday, guys. Hope you're feeling very special today. And please, if you'd like to send through one of these dedications, a nice heartfelt message, a video would be great. Give us 24 hours of lead time so we can get it on time. You can send those videos. You can WhatsApp them. Simple, 071-640-6551. Or you can email us at birthdays@cordova.tv.
Now let's talk the Kitchen Collective, which is a culmination of the culinary visions of two talented foodies who ventured together to provide awesome cooking spaces and experiences that expand the concept of the, quote, shared kitchen studio space. And these ladies, Denise Coburn-Levy and Kim Jordan, join us on Expresso to share more about the beautiful journey that is all centered around food. And their passion just kind of leaps off of their chef jackets, if you will, and just kind of infuses in you as you speak to them. It's great to have you both here, and good morning.
Good morning.
Let's talk a little bit about how you channeled everything that you love about cooking into your life, and how you've brought about the Kitchen Collective, but also Ginger and Lime.
Yes, you were there a little while ago.
A little while ago.
Quite a while ago. I was fortunate enough to travel during my other former careers, which were behind the camera and in front of the camera, producing shoots and also doing shoots. So with that, I learned all kinds of cuisines and, you know, everything from Italian, Spanish, French, Thai, everything like that. And I used to come back and recreate the dishes. And then one day I went for a class with Liam Tomlin, and I absolutely loved it. It was incredible, and I ended up going every week, and I was the biggest fan sitting in the front row. And one day I had one of those classic sort of aha moments where I went, oh no, I don't want to be on this side of the counter. I actually want to be on that side of the counter. I want to be doing this, what he's doing. So slowly vision became reality, and I honed what I liked, didn't like, and created my own brand, which was Ginger and Lime. And we started that 6 years ago. Wow. So it's been going for quite a while now.
And the collaboration between the two of you, how did that come about, Kim?
So I started working for Denise about 5 years ago. I was her first full-time employee.
Yeah.
She grew me, she mentored me, and yeah, now we're 50-50 partners in the Kitchen Collective, Ginger and Lime, and I've got my own venue called Salt and Sage as well.
That's incredible. And so how do you incorporate all these three? I mean, what is each's mission, and how does it help you to kind of live out your passion in food?
Yeah, so the reason we have 3 venues is because we like to offer our clients sort of a what would suit their preferences.
Yes, yes.
So each have their own unique feel and look. And Kitchen Collective is our biggest one. Ginger and Lime is sort of the flagship, beautiful one in Denise's home. And Salt and Sage is our smallest one in Bantry Bay, overlooking the ocean. So they're all unique in their own way.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And the Kitchen Collective played quite an instrumental role in the debut season of The Taste Master, which is, of course, one of our favourite shows that we love. You were the venue in the Eat Out episode. Tell me a little bit about that and what it was like providing that experience.
Yeah, it was amazing. Not many people get to see the chefs working up close and personal behind the scenes, and we, of course, find that fascinating. You know, it's wonderful for us. And, yeah, I think the space that we've created now, it's a 380 square metre space with fabulous state-of-the-art kitchens, and really, we're loving it because we can provide so many different services, you know, from product launches, recipe book launches, guest chefs coming to play with us, the interactive experiences for the man on the street. So it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and with that, I guess the sky is the limit. It's your imagination that is the only limit, really. Exactly. So what does the future hold then for the Kitchen Collective?
Yes. As you say, the sky is the limit. We've got lots on the pipelines.
Yeah.
We're thinking of hopefully going to Italy, creating cooking tours.
Wow.
One day, hopefully getting our own cooking shows,
Hey,
maybe.
producers.
Taking over Expresso. But yeah, really, sky's the limit. But really just, I think keeping our core offering just amazing every single week is where we're at the moment.
And Denise, you'll be taking us through one of the recipes in your wonderful book. Tell me a bit about that.
About the book and about the book, how it came about. Well, basically, I've always loved writing. I find it incredibly easy to express myself on paper, way easier than talking. So you can just sort of put everything out there. So it was a collaboration, I think, of all the years of sort of memoirs and journaling and traveling and the countries that I visited, pulling all those recipes together. So in this one, I showcase Italy and Greece and Thailand. And then, of course, there's an ancestral chapter. So we've got Granny's chicken soup, which cures everything from a flu to a heartbreak, absolutely everything, and is always in demand. And we also, and my mom's creme caramel. And then we've got a chapter on ginger and lime and the whole team and how that came about. So it's got a lot of personal anecdotes in it. A lot of my heart and soul is in that book. So I felt incredibly vulnerable when it came out because it really is there for everybody to see. There's no hiding now. So.
I'm certainly looking forward to that in the kitchen.
You.
And so be sure to stay tuned for that. And also, of course, if you are up for a unique interactive cooking and foodie experience, then do visit the Kitchen Collective, and you can find out more information by visiting www.thekitchenccollective.co.za.
Thank you very much, Kat. We take a look at those news headlines just ahead of 8 o'clock. We start off here in South Africa, where President Cyril Ramaphosa is due to host German Chancellor Angela Merkel in Pretoria today. For Ramaphosa, the endorsement of the leader of Europe's most powerful economy is significant, particularly with regard to his draft to boost investment in South Africa by $100 billion by 2023. Germany has more than 600 companies and billions of euros invested in this country and exported some 127 billion rand worth of goods to South Africa last year. Turkey's Powership has one of the world's largest powership firms has submitted a plan to South Africa to provide several ships capable of plugging a severe power shortage in the country. Speaking on the sidelines of the African Mining Conference in Cape Town, Powership Global Sales Director Patrick O'Driscoll said that they can generate electricity at a cost far below what it costs Eskom to run its diesel-fired peaking plants. In international headlines, Nigeria has begun working on the security and information sharing requirements for the lifting of a U.S. travel ban on prospective immigrants from the African nation. Nigerian Foreign Minister Geoffrey Onyeama said yesterday U.S. officials said that the countries failed to meet U.S. security and information sharing standards, which necessitated the new restrictions. Temporary visas for tourists, business people and students will not be affected. Miraculously, only one person was killed and 157 injured when a Pegasus airline Boeing 737 skidded off the runway and broke apart while landing at Istanbul Sabiha Gökçen Airport yesterday afternoon. The airline said that the plane was attempting to land in heavy tailwinds and rain when it skidded some 60 meters after touching down, before plunging 40 meters down a ditch and bursting into flames. The majority of the 171 passengers and 6 crew members on board were Turkish, but there were also about 20 foreign nationals. And now news of the big tennis in Cape Town tomorrow, fresh from competing in the Australian Open. 20-time Grand Slam winner Roger Federer yesterday touched down in Cape Town, where he will meet his longtime rival and 19-time Grand Slam singles champion Rafael Nadal tomorrow. The exhibition match will be played under the auspices of the Roger Federer Foundation to raise funds for children's education in Africa. Federer said that he hopes to raise at least $1 million. In addition, event organizers will also attempt to break the world record for the most spectators to watch a single tennis match at the 50,000-seater Cape Town Stadium. Another highlight of the evening will be the exhibition match between Trevor Noah teaming up with Nadal against Microsoft founder Bill Gates and Federer. No doubt it will be the hottest ticket on the continent tomorrow evening. And finally, another brief glimpse into the world of entertainment. When our lives take a turn toward the unexpected and unknown, we appreciate the help of friends to see us through. Well, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry did not expect that pop icon Madonna would become one of those friends and offer them a place to stay in her Central Park West apartment while they find their feet. More on this story later on in our entertainment report. That's where we leave it for this morning. Here's Graham with a final look at what's happening in sports.
Fine dish.
Thanks so much, Tubbsy. Let's dive right in with football. Defending Nedbank Cup champions TS Galaxy have been knocked out of the competition. That was after suffering a 3-0 loss to Chippa United at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in the opening round of 32 last night. The Chile boys securing the win through a stunner from Hamilton and then a brace from Quem. There will be one Nedbank Cup fixture this evening. That's Ajax Cape Town playing host to TS Sporting from 7:30, and that'll be at the Athlone Stadium. A little further afield, Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur, they've advanced to the FA Cup 5th round after beating Southampton 3-2. That was in the 4th round replay at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium late last night, and it was yet again star forward Son Heung-min who scored an 86-minute penalty to secure the win for the side. So Spurs will now face Norwich City in the next round, and that'll be in March. And then finally on to motorsport, the 4th race of this 2020 Formula 1 season, the Chinese Grand Prix taking place at the Shanghai International Circuit, might not take place at all due to the outbreak of the coronavirus. Sports authorities in Shanghai have recommended that all sporting events be suspended in the city as a result of the virus. Last week, of course, the 2020 World Athletics Indoor Championships, scheduled to take place from the 13th to the 15th of March in China, was also postponed until next year. And that's a wrap of your sport for this Thursday morning. Let's take another look at the roads.
The time is now 3 minutes past 8. It's time to have a final look at what's happening on the roads this morning. Starting off in Centurion, Gauteng, there has been an accident on the N14 westbound before Pislachter Road. The entire road is blocked and causing major delays. Please use an alternative route this morning. Now in the Western Cape, Moorbury on the N2 inbound, there is a stationary vehicle before the M5 obstructing the right lane. Please be patient on the roads this morning as delays are expected. Now lastly, Metrorail Monte Vista line. The Monte Vista line train service is temporarily suspended. Commuters are advised to make use of an alternative mode of transport this morning. That's your last look at the traffic. Now let's have a look at the weather with Jamie.
It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and we've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Thank you so much for everyone that sent them through. But firstly to JP Malherba for your amazing skyline from Robertson, and Stube Johnson for your beautiful sunrise from Le Clavile in Northwest, as well as our regular photographer Nancy Govender for your spectacular sunrise from Umkomas. And then lastly, another regular of ours, James Turner, for your beautiful sunrise picture from Durban. Please send those pictures through. We love to see them every single day. But now let's take a look at the rest of the country. Now thunderstorms are expected for Polokwane with a low of 20 and a high of 29. Umbombela with a low of 21, peaking at 34. A couple of showers can be expected for you, Pretoria, ranging from 18 to 30 degrees. If you're out in Johannesburg, your temperature is ranging from 16 to 28 degrees. Heavy rainfall expected for you, Mahikeng, with a low of 18 and a maximum of 30. Klerksdorp, 17 to 29. Occasional rain also expected for Kimberley with a low of 20 and a high of 33. Bloemfontein 17-30. Thunderstorms are also expected for Richards Bay, ranging from 22 to 31 degrees. Pietermaritzburg 19-30, and of course South Africa's playground is Durban with a couple of showers being expected, ranging from 23 to 29 degrees. Mthatha 16-23. Heavy rainfall for you, East London, ranging from 18 to 23 degrees. Cradock 14-22. Heavy rainfall expected for you guys. Port Elizabeth 18-21. A southeasterly wind of 15 kilometers per hour expected for George, ranging from 16 and peaking at 18 degrees. Now the lowest temperature in the country today can be found in Sutherland with an all low of 10 and a high of 20. A southeasterly wind of 43 kilometers per hour can also be expected for Cape Town, the mother city, ranging from 17 to 22 degrees. Worcester 15-22. Springbok 13-28, and the highest temperature in the country can be found in Uppington with a low of 24 and a high of 37. Of course, whatever the weather, it is Klein Vrydag. Make it count.
I feel that Klein Vrydag vibe. I'll get on board. Of course, the host of Sporting Action isn't going to hurt as well. Getting off to a dramatic start with TS Galaxy, the defending champions, being knocked out last night. The Nedbank Cup is now in full swing, and the team at the Nedbank in-house are offering you the chance to win. Get this double VIP tickets to an upcoming game of your choice. And with the underdogs, TS Galaxy taking the trophy last year in a real David and Goliath fashion, it's anyone's men's game. I think a lot of those minnow teams hungry for glory, and you could have a front row seat.
Absolutely. So all you got to do to win is you have to open a Nedbank Mobi Money account, which is a free account that is linked to your cell phone number. And you can literally sit on your couch and open this account without moving a leg. And this account is free, and it allows you to transfer money for free. Plus, you can do things like buy airtime, buy electricity, and a whole bunch of other amazing features in the palm of your hand. So open an account by dialing *120 *002#, and then you simply follow the prompts. And once you've opened an account, SMS the keyword Nedbank and your name to 33728 to be entered into the competition.
Yeah, and good luck. There are 12 seats of VIP glory to be given away. The game of your choice, remember. Winners will be picked on a first-come, first-served basis, so you don't waste any time at all. First game could be Kaizer Chiefs up against Royal Eagles. This weekend will be a massive one. Chiefs finalists last year, so remember, to get on it, SMSs are going to cost you R1.50, but you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting you this morning, and we're going to continue. I love that sound. I get into such a happy mood when I hear that little laugh, but it's going to be quite serious, our baby talk chat today. Colic, the terror that comes with that word, can be described as frequent, prolonged and intense crying or fussiness in a healthy infant. And to chat a little bit more about some of the causes and symptoms and, most importantly, treatment of colic is Sister Dariska Postumus, a lactation consultant and registered nurse, as well as pediatrician Dr. Philip Kutsia. Guys, welcome back to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Kutsia, you've actually had a very close relationship with our team. I know that you've been of great help to Kat as well, but welcome back, guys. Can you please explain what colic is? Because if you've experienced it, certainly as a first-time parent, it's very difficult to actually pinpoint what is going on. It's just a whole lot of pain and crying and lack of sleep.
But that's exactly what it is. There's an academic definition, and there's a what is perceived and what's real, and what is normal by baby crying, because babies cry. So
yeah, I think that's it's a very good question, and it's got a very difficult answer. And I think we're also
you're a doctor. Come on.
We're also trying to figure out exactly what the answer is. But basically, it's a baby who is crying more than we would have expected the baby to cry, but the baby is healthy. Or baby's fussy, crying, but he's healthy. That's a very, very important distinction.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and we typically see a couple of things surrounding colic where we see a trend. So a baby that's typically crying a lot, very fussy and irritable in the evenings most of the time, or there's a set time. Parents can often tell you it starts at 6 o'clock at night, and then it ends again at this time. And it carries on longer than we would expect normal crying to be. And Sister Dariska will also tell you that normal crying, we can see 1 hour to 2 hours of normal crying a day in a small baby, and it's still normal.
It's normal. Babies cry. That's the only way to communicate, and it's not always to say they're in pain.
Yeah.
But when they have colic, they look like they're in pain. They look uncomfortable, and it's quite disturbing for you as a parent.
Sorry to interrupt you, but the big distinction that we also just have to always remember is that we have to make sure that the baby is healthy. That the baby is not crying because there is something wrong underlying.
There's another medical
condition going on.
I think for me, because I experienced this with baby Luca as well, I didn't know what the reason was. What are some of the causes of colic that...
I want to say indigestion. Is that...
But that's exactly what it is. What is colic? It's stomach pain.
Yes.
It's pain, it's discomfort, it's...
Yeah, so lots of postulations or hypotheses around what causes colic exactly, but no clear answer just yet.
Okay.
So people have been hypothesizing about whether it's a physical problem in the gut, that the gut is maybe a little bit immature and not handling the feeds very well. That's one possibility. Another possibility is that babies may be picking up on the parental anxiety, especially first-time mothers. Babies not being handled very well, and the baby picks up on that anxiety. Other postulations would be...
I hope it's not that.
But it's a possibility. Another thing that I read up and which I see is your temperament and your child's temperament. And that plays a role, and that's something interesting to investigate in.
I think one important thing to remember is if your baby has colic, just remember that your baby is not rejecting you.
Yeah, you're not failing as a parent.
You're not failing as a parent.
If anything, you're earning your stripes as a parent, and it's a big part of it. I've got to ask this, is it more prevalent and localized in the Western world?
Definitely, yes. So we see definitely that there is a very big association, colic in certain demographic areas where we see more colic versus others, and it's got to do a lot with westernized cultures, where our perception of what normal crying is or should be is a little bit, I think, not what it should be.
So we need to, in other words, what you're saying is we need to recalibrate our brains.
Lower our expectations.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Westerners are just fussy. We're fussy from birth right the way through. Okay, we're going to delve a little bit deeper. I want to know how painful, I know obviously it's difficult to relate, but how dangerous colic can be, so you can think about that. We're going to continue our discussion. If you've got any comments or questions or secret family remedies, maybe some insights to offer us, you can join the conversation on our Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you.
Now, earlier on, we spoke to the lovely ladies from the Kitchen Collective, Denise and Kim, to find out about their shared kitchen studio space and what it's all about. Now they bring us to the kitchen to give us a taste of what we can experience and what it's like cooking with them, featuring a sumptuous, delicious recipe from Denise's book called Around My Table. And this recipe is called a seared salmon with coconut and yuzu dressing. Just the name alone is enough to get your mouth watering. I'm very, very excited about this, ladies. And Denise, you were telling me earlier on that this book is inspired by your travels, your experiences in food, and all the journeys it's taken you through.
Absolutely. And this particular dish I tasted in Dubai a few years ago, and it just popped in my mouth. So I had to come back, and then I kind of made my own version of it while those food memories were still alive.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's get right into it. And you've got Kim here assisting.
Okay.
And you two know exactly how you... Pretend this is the Kitchen Collective here, and you're going to show us what you guys do.
Okay, so we've taken a piece of salmon. We took 400 grams of salmon. We've used Norwegian, but you can certainly use local salmon trout as well. And we've cut it into half, and then we cling wrapped it in, and then put it into the fridge. You need to get your salmon really cold before you use it, because it's an oily fish, so it gets very soft.
Okay.
So we've done that already, and now we're going to cut it. The other thing that is very, very important is a very sharp knife. That is your friend. You cannot work in the kitchen without a knife, and this is a beautiful wasabi black knife. So we're going to cut this into little slices.
That's how you get those professional slices.
Yes, absolutely.
A very, very sharp
And then I think Kim will probably start with the daikon at the same time. Kim, if you show them that.
What we have here is this very odd-looking vegetable. It's called a daikon, which is an Asian radish, and we're going to thinly slice it on a mandolin. So this mandolin will allow for very, very even slices, which we will place on our platter, which will be the base for our beautiful salmon sashimi.
Are daikons readily available at where? I've never seen a daikon before.
In fact, a lot of the spas carry them, and even Woolworths, and all the Asian supermarkets have them. So it's quite readily available nowadays. And you have to watch this mandolin. It is your best friend, but it does take off a few fingers. So yeah, we actually don't allow our guests to use it.
That's why you brought the extra large daikon.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to pop those on there. Cool. I'm going to start making the topping. The topping is with fresh coconut, and it has lime, and it has chili, and it has shallot. Now, shallot is a milder form of a red onion, so it's slightly sweeter.
Okay.
And we've grated that, and we are doing lime and lime zest. So this is going to be the topping for our salmon sashimi. So
by the way, at home, if you've just tuned in, we're making a recipe from Denise's book, Around My Table, and it is a seared salmon with coconut and yuzu dressing. And the immediate question is, what is yuzu? But before you answer that, SMS the keyword fish to 33728. We'll send you the link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list, so you can try it out at home as well. So, yuzu, what is that?
Yuzu is a lime. It's a knobbly lime which has very large seeds and a tough skin. It's not readily available, and therefore the juice is very limited. A small amount of juice comes out of each one.
Okay.
It's widely used in Japan, but not so much here. It really has an incredible flavour. But if you can't find yuzu juice, you can use a lime. You know, we just get a little bit fancy.
In your garden?
We wish. So we just get a little bit fancy, you know, when we can be a bit chefy. We try. So
that looks amazing. Look at that.
So
it's already starting to.
And on the lime, Kim, just chat about that.
So this is our lime. When you zest something, this can become your best friend. It's almost like a mini zester or a microplane, and it's almost as if you were grating this lime to get the zest, and you're just getting just the green part without sort of the white bit, because the pith. The white bit's very bitter and not very tasty. So we're just going to put the lime inside there. And then while Denise is sort of layering our salmon sashimi there, so at our cooking experiences, you learn a lot of tips and tricks and sort of kitchen hacks. And this is one of our favorites that people love to see. Teaspoon and ginger, fresh ginger. To peel your ginger, you just use a teaspoon. And it works amazingly well. It doesn't take off a lot of the skin, and you can go over all the little knobbly bits. Super, super, super easy. So it's a lovely, lovely one to learn.
I don't think that the person that invented the teaspoon ever thought that this might be one of the yeses, but this is brilliant.
Hey, don't underestimate the teaspoon inventor. So basically, we're going to take our fresh grated ginger, and you're going to grate it on yet another microplane. These are our best friends in the kitchen.
Yeah, they really are useful and handy.
A beautiful, sort of a pulp.
Yeah.
And with the pulp, this is what you will get. And you will squeeze this pulp and get a beautiful, fragrant, very sharp juice.
Which is intense, very intense.
Okay.
And you don't get any...
Enough to cure any kind of flu symptoms you might be suffering.
Oh, wonderful for that, yes. Asian food is great for that, because they really think about all of those things.
Okay, so we're maybe going to start getting onto our dressing, our yuzu dressing. So what we've got is we've got our yuzu, our lime juice here. We're going to add about 4 teaspoons into our ginger juice. I'm just eyeballing it because I can.
Because you're a pro like that.
And then we've got mirin. So mirin is almost like a sweet, sort of very subtle vinegar. So we're going to put, again, 4 teaspoons. Again, eyeballing it. And then soy sauce. Of course, how can you have Asian food without soy sauce, right? Okay, about a teaspoon there. And then Szechuan pepper. I don't know if you maybe want to give that a smell.
Okay.
Quite a fragrant, aromatic, sort of a pine nutty smell for a pepper. And we're going to put a pinch or 2, because we can.
Yes.
And then give it a little stir.
Lovely. All right, next up.
Perfect.
Okay, and then we're going to spoon that over.
Okay, so spoon it over.
Okay.
I mean, just the beautiful colours of the green and the white and the red.
So SMS the keyword fish to 33728 and we'll send you a link to the recipe as well.
And this is so simple. If you've got guests coming over, I mean,
Simple
this
as
is,
that.
you whip it up like this. You only gave us 4 minutes to cook. So
It looks absolutely just world-class fine dining right there.
And then the other thing we're going to put on the side of the plate now, of course, is ginger. It's very important to eat ginger when you eat raw fish. It's very good for the gut.
Okay.
Okay, and on the top for decoration,
Are you ready?
we are using kaffir lime leaves, which we've shredded as well, which just adds another little zest, and it's a little bit of decor on the top.
We have to
that is
say
it.
thank you very, very much for this. Much appreciated. The book is out at all reliable bookstores
It
around
is,
my
absolutely.
table. And do check out the kitchencollective.co.za as I just delve into one of these pieces. I have to.
Zing, right?
Amazing.
Great.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's a Thursday morning, and yes, the very best morning start here on your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. Thanks for joining us. Still enjoying the taste of that beautiful seared salmon. We'll see. Anyway, it's time for us right now to check out the latest news in the world of entertainment.
Absolutely, starting with our local news.
You're right.
I'm just smelling all of that from you. I mean, you brought the smell with you to the lounge. But anyway, starting off with Yo TV star Kanya Mkangi. So she's done incredibly well in remaining relevant in the industry over the years. Her ability to evolve and adapt has to be commended. I mean, she's a DJ, she's a TV presenter, and has acted in really popular local series. Now she has landed herself a new role on a popular series, Umubango, which she announced on Instagram with the caption, "There's a new girl on the block, goes by the name of Umbali, and I'm told she's making her debut on Mubango tonight. Sassy, street, bougie, smart, and Instagram obsessed. I'm obviously in my element portraying her." She made her debut on the 4th of February and has received great feedback from the show's viewers. I mean, we all know that she's had a very controversial past, but we are happy that she has realigned with herself and is on the right, straight and narrow path, doing great things for herself. Congratulations to Kanya. I mean, yeah, man. From Yo TV to what she is now. She's grown so much and has achieved so much for a young, celebrity here in South Africa.
And Mubango is a big show as well.
Yes, Mubango is quite big.
Another celebration comes through for the Tibbos, everybody. Demi, our very own Demi Lee Peters now, which is now Miss Tibbo. Mrs.
Is she now Demi Lee now Peters Tebow?
Tebow, yes,
that
she is.
Long.
But they're officially on honeymoon, guys. They are in the Maldives. They spent 11 days there, living their best life. As you can see on her Instagram, she also had a caption that said, "Here's to endless sunsets with you." And then, of course, he posted this picture that says, "Not a bad view." Of course, Boo-Boo.
Are you talking about the actual view or your wife?
I'm trying to see the view.
2017 Miss Universe, of course, is not a bad view. Now, of course, even in this 11 days, they took time to spend time.
Yeah.
In his Tim Tebow Foundation, which is called Night to Shine.
Oh, cool.
It's where they have a little dance for all kids with special needs. So that's super amazing that they got time away from their little honeymoon vacation to spend time there. So that's amazing.
They're going to be, and they are already, a power couple for good.
Definitely.
A power couple for good, because I think both of them have quite an investment in terms of their heart's investments in making the world a better place. So congratulations to them.
And their influence is massive, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of another couple that has massive influence, after the announcement of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry leaving the royal family, the biggest questions have been, what are they going to be doing next? How are they going to support themselves financially? And also, where would they stay? Now, Madonna took to Instagram on Tuesday evening with a video saying that they shouldn't move to Canada because it's very boring there, but that they should rather sublet her apartment on Central Park West. What? So while many people saw the funny side of this, a lot of Madonna fans also took to posting and defending their beloved Canadian country by listing all the positive aspects of Canada, of which I'm sure there are absolutely many. I think they are the second happiest country in the world after Norway.
Safest. They also make the best waffles and maple syrup.
I mean? Yeah. How do you what?
They make the best maple syrup, so Canada's known for maple syrup.
Really? They pretty much are the originators, aren't they?
Exactly.
So you can't say that. You can't. It's like saying South Africa makes the best umqombothi. Like nobody else competes. You know what I mean? Anyway, the Royals haven't yet responded to whether or not they will be taking up Madonna on her offer. But what we do know is that they do plan to travel between the United Kingdom and North America to continue their work despite stepping away from the royal life. And I think people will probably remain interested in what they're going to be doing for a very long time to come, whether they're royal or not.
Absolutely. What do you guys think that where do you think that they'll settle down? Maybe they'll come to South Africa. Cape Town, maybe?
South Africa?
I don't think so.
Wow, no, yeah, it's too far.
A safe bet is US, the US.
You think so?
Yes. Because it's Meghan's home, that's where her career was.
The British countryside, perhaps. You know,
among tea with my lady. Did you hear my accent? It's amazing. No?
The celebrities, they live different lives altogether. But from reporting on our favorite celebs to rubbing shoulders with the who's in the creative industry at Pantone Sundays. Now, we know that color has been linked to our fortunes and emotional state since forever. We feel in the pink or look for a silver lining in every cloud or see the world through the rose-tinted spectacles. But choosing one shade for the year ahead or just for a rooftop party, we color the world in the way that we want it to be. And the latest Pantone Sunday party, which I went to this past Sunday, oh, we sure did paint the town red. Take a look at this. It's an explosion of color. You're seeing red over here, you're seeing it over there, you're seeing it everywhere. There is no doubt about it. I am in the trendiest party in town. I'm talking about Pantone Sundays. It started off as a monthly get-together for people to come around, express themselves through fashion and style. But without a doubt, today it's become one of Africa's quintessential get-togethers of the brightest, most creative minds. The theme this month is red. Let's go check out some bold colors. Nandi, there's no doubt about it. Pantone Sundays definitely stands out as one of the most aesthetically pleasing events ever seen in Cape Town and Joburg. But the aesthetics are not the only reason you host these events, right?
Not at all. It's all about bringing people together to have a good time. And I mean, really, it's about celebrating African creativity through a color-themed fashion party.
So why is this so important to you?
I think part of living is about living truthfully with as much joy as you can possibly muster. And really, that's what my business is about. It's about bringing and giving joy. And I think we've always worked to inspire, to entertain, and to empower in everything that we do.
To me, red says I am sexy, I'm confident, I am powerful, but it also says I am here. I can't wait to hear what everyone else thinks of red.
I love the color red. It is the color of passion, the color of love, and I think it looks good on everyone.
If you look through my closet, my scrubs tend to be red, like at least 5 of them are, and I'm usually identified as a doctor in red. So it's a color I love. It's all about the passion.
The color red is one of my favorite colors. The only lipstick I ever wear is red, and it makes me feel powerful.
The theme today is red, Dichaba, and I see you have not held back. You have arrived in your red top. What does the color red mean to you?
Red is bold. Red is unapologetic. Red is confidence. Red is sexy. Yeah, it's one of my favorite colors.
Why do you feel like it's important to constantly change the colors and make the themes color-based? Does that change the way people feel about the event?
Absolutely. I think really special events are ones that are highly considered and that are imbued with intention. So the colors that we've actually chosen are there to make you feel some kind of way. Red, it's the color of love. Appropriately, it's fair, and we just want people to feel that warmth, to feel whatever are the characteristics or traits of that particular color.
It's a special place for people to create and express themselves, people to network. It's in Cape Town and in Joburg as well. So I think it's a great place.
I think it's important to have a platform for creatives to come together, to collaborate. Of course, on a beautiful day in perfect Cape Town, mountain behind us, what could be better? But I think creatives can come together, share ideas, share a space, have a drink, relax, and collaborate.
I think people are always looking for ways or inspirations, and sometimes a lot of the inspiration comes from other creatives. And it's always, you know, the saying, two heads are better than one. So when two or more creatives come together, I think the potential of what they can create, especially here in Africa, can really take Africa from where it is to newer heights.
You've come all the way from California. This is your first time enjoying this event here in South Africa. Is this the idea that you had before coming to Cape Town of what a social space here would be like?
Bro, man, hey, it's crazy. I mean, I come from a small town in California, 5,000 people. So, you know, I was working in New York and then Berlin, Germany, and now I'm here in Cape Town. And, you know, I never would have thought, I could never really picture how Cape Town would look. And then I finally got here, and it's a whole different level of what I thought. You know, it's beautiful, the views are crazy, the buildings are nice, the rooftop's great. Yeah. The Sunday parties are fun, man. I mean, this is a great party, and I'm really enjoying myself out here.
Tichaba, this is an absolutely fantastic event. It's not just about coming together for a drink in a social setting. It's all about promoting collaboration amongst creatives. And this is something that is important to the SABC and SABC3 in particular. Why is that?
Well, firstly, we're here at the Sunmet weekend, and we partnered as the lifestyle partner of the Sunmet. And we really wanted to also give a stage to an event that really takes care of the creative industry in Cape Town, and also that has a pulse on the culture. So we really thought, let's be hosted by Pantone Sunday. Let's immerse ourselves in the cultural activities of Cape Town and the vibe. And it's important for SABC3 brand to be involved and be seen in such places. So here we are. We're being hosted by Pantone Sunday.
Besides the amazing fashion that's here today, this entire space is filled with some great minds who've all connected and come together chatting about creativity and the future of Africa.
Ah, wonderful event indeed. Hey, but Tabizo, next time just migrate towards the color spectrum of the red, not so much the copper. Anyway, listen, thank you very much for the music cue. It is almost time for Tropical Island of Treasure Curacao, and we're less than a week away from announcing our 6 consumer contestants. But before we announce them, we want to see whether you can guess who it might be. So the following video clip that you're about to see consists of some of the entry videos that we've received from all over the country. But only one of these 5 people will make it to the island. Do you think you might know who it is? Take a look at this and see if you can guess.
My most promising skills are my problem-solving skills, excellent communication skills, and all-round great teamwork.
I'm hungry and always looking to step out of my comfort zone.
Hey guys, my name is Richest.
The smooth operator, the one with the sharpened mind.
I'm into CrossFit a lot and I'm a triathlon athlete.
So, are you able to guess which one of these smooth entries are going to Curacao? Well, then head on over to our Facebook page and let us know who you think will make it through to the island. Is it Dineo Schumacher? Is it Caldine Weingard? Kaylin Govender? Refilo Ramasedi? Sele Patrick Sakane? Or Sbusiso Komola? Let us know on Facebook. And in the meantime, of course, for further information, you can follow @MyTropica on social media and tune into Expresso every morning between 6 and 9 a.m. as we'll be giving you some hints. And be prepared because the reveal is happening very soon.
Welcome back as we delve back into our baby talk chat. We are talking about colic this morning and welcoming back Sister Doriska and Dr. Philip. Guys, thank you so much for basically debunking the whole myth around colic. I'm beginning to think maybe it's just a Western thing that we have cooked up because we can't deal with our babies crying too much. But I know I really am oversimplifying here and taking nothing away from what parents go through when your baby just won't stop crying. It can be one of the most frustrating, unnerving experiences that you can go through. When we left our conversation, I wanted to ask, I left the thought with you, how dangerous is colic? How much damage is being done? How much pain is being felt, do you think, by the babies? And how dangerous can it be?
I think the first thing to remember is that when we talk about colic, is that we are referring to a crying in a healthy baby. That crying is not dangerous. So yes, the baby is experiencing some discomfort. We don't know to what degree, but we can see it on the baby's face and by the way the baby is responding to it. But in the long term, the colic or the colicky crying does not have any sequelae. Yeah. Okay, and that has been shown over and over again in clinical trials.
Okay, so if the crying is associated to a medical condition, though,
it's completely a different story.
The danger comes in.
We were just speaking about this now. There's so many old school remedies, middles, versterkdruppels, grijphoute, all these little treatments. We don't know where they come from, but is there a treatment for colic? I call it the C word. It's like a C word.
It's a C word, it's a swear word. There is a lot of remedies on the market, and you'll go to this pharmacy and that pharmacy, and they mix up whatever, and you give it, and you have no idea what's in there.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Do you want to give that to your child? At the end, you want to look at keeping your child's digestive tract comfortable.
Yes.
So keeping the baby up after feedings, burping the baby well. I always say if you had a big meal and you go and lie down, you are uncomfortable. So keep that baby up for a while, like I said, burp well, and then also how you feed the child. So if you are breastfeeding, that it's laid back and relaxed, and also if you are bottle feeding, to do it slowly and you pace the feeding. It's not just look, because that child will have more weans and more cramps. So that's those things that we start looking at for me, for the first, we look at the comfort, making the baby comfortable after feeds, feeding properly, and then again, your expectations.
I mean, that leads into my next question, and possibly this all involves us adjusting our mindset when it comes to our baby crying and them being, in a state of discomfort. What are some of the biggest myths that you feel you need to debunk right now?
Okay, so myths, that's a bit of a tricky question. So I think, I don't know if you can answer this question better than I can, but for me, when I see a baby who cries a lot and where the mother brings the baby, and it's very often at the 6-week checkup or sometimes even a little bit earlier, where the mother would complain that the baby's crying a lot of the time, and where a little bit of reassurance for being seen by the healthcare provider, the doctor or the sister, and being examined and told your baby is fine, your baby is well. Okay. That is very important. And just to attach to what add on to what Doriska said about the management of colic. So we always try everything that is free first, and that's positioning and burping and how you feed your baby, massaging the tummy, warm bath, co-sleeping, sleeping on top of you, things like that. And then the next step would be trying to see what treatment can we do? Because there is a percentage of babies who have colic who suffer from something that we call cow's milk protein allergy. And if it's a formula-fed baby, we would consider a hydrolyzed. It's not entirely the same thing, but in that field. So we'll consider a hydrolyzed formula, or if it's a breastfed baby, we'll tell the mother to maybe follow a hypoallergenic diet, and where she cuts out certain foods or dairy, for example. And then we do that for a week, and if we see it doesn't make a difference, specifically with the formula, then we go back to normal. And then in terms of medicines and the drops that you refer to, there's very little evidence, to be honest with you. The one new thing on the block, or new remedy on the block, is a probiotic, where a specific strain of probiotic that they call Lactobacillus reuteri, that's been shown to improve coliciness, can shorten the duration of coliciness, because we know colicky babies, it resolves normally by the time they're 3 months old.
Out,
And then at the end of it, by 3 months, you don't always know what worked, but it's gone.
It's
and
gone.
you can
It's
smile
just
and
like
you can
one
sleep.
day.
I think a good place to start, don't call your baby a colicky baby. I think you need to kind of adjust your own expectations around what babies need. Often babies will cry and do cry, but we do certainly empathize. I can, as a parent, certainly speak to how difficult it is and how stressful it can be if your baby just won't stop crying. But maybe start with yourself and adjusting your expectation, calming yourself down, and maybe they'll feed off that as a starting point. And don't be shy to ask a sister, ask a doctor for advice, or maybe just a little reassurance.
Yes.
And we're back in the kitchen. We are back in the kitchen. I'm with Anal for a very special reason. That is because tomorrow might be one of the best days ever this year. Not only is it Friday, but it's also World Pizza Day. And who would not want to celebrate that? Now, to get your mouth watering and to give you some recipe inspiration, we're going to show you how to make a Clover chicken mayo pizza using new Clover Classic tangy mayonnaise. Now, Anal, we're going to start with the very basics. I see that you have your mixture over there. What is it that's in it?
I'm just super excited. It is pizza day. Do you like pizza?
I love pizza.
What's your favorite pizza?
My favorite pizza has to be bacon, avo, anything with bacon and avo and feta.
Oh, amazing. Mine as well.
Really?
Yes, but I add chilies. I like my chilies. But I need to roll up my sleeves for this.
Let's get ready. Let's get down to it. So you just put in some salt?
Yeah, some salt. This is self-raising flour, so you don't need yeast. A dash of sugar for a bit of sweetness. Inside there's a bit of butter that I've already, put in with my fingers and to like a bread-like consistency, breadcrumb consistency.
Yes.
And now we're just going to add some water. And that's it. That's very easy to make.
Some water and milk.
Yeah, just some water for this one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is that water that you put in there?
No, that is milk that I put in.
Okay.
The water's there just for in case the dough is a bit stiff.
Oh, okay. But can you use water, just water without the milk?
Yes. The water is in here just to enrich the dough. So, but if you just want to use milk, and especially for the people that lactose intolerant, you can just use water.
And then can you buy something like this already made? Because I know, like fed cooks, but I missed a step growing up because I don't know how to knead at all. What's the process of kneading and making sure that the consistency of the flour is on point?
Everybody's got their own way of kneading the dough, and that is one thing, but my mom has taught me just go in it and just go like this. Just get in it and in it. And
a workout and a half.
And then you will fold it over like that, and you just knead. And you must do this for about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah. You're going to have like a really good workout if you do this, especially for those biceps.
Exactly. I absolutely love it. Now we have extra ingredients over here. I see you have red peppers, there's red onions as well, some cheese, and of course the ingredients and the main recipe, which is the Clover Classic Tangy Mayonnaise. And we've chosen the mild taste.
Yeah. So what's going to happen here, let me just tell you. Normally in a pizza, you've got like a tomato base. So we're using this delicious Clover tangy mayonnaise, the number 2. And it's like the medium one. But I love that tanginess. It's like a little bit of a sourness, acidity, and it works perfectly as a base for a pizza. So I'm going to ask you to make the pizza.
Okay, I'll do that while you finish off with the kneading. Now, to get the recipe, all you have to do is SMS the keyword Clover to 33728, and we will send through those recipes. I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
Add some more, girlfriend. Please, don't be shy. That is delicious. And it works beautifully with the mozzarella and the chicken. It's like a chicken mayo pizza, you know.
It's very simple to make, actually, you know. What I love about this Clover Classic is that it comes in 3 different levels, the mild, the medium, and strong tanginess. And we have chosen the medium, actually. Oh, okay.
So that we've got our chicken. You can just make that beforehand.
Okay.
You're going to add some beautiful red onions. And if you don't have the red onions, you can use white onions.
Oh, it doesn't really matter. So
doesn't matter. It's just beautiful. I love the red onions. And then lots of cheese.
Please.
What is a pizza without a cheese?
What is it? You know, when the special thing is when you take a bite and the cheese just stretches out. Oh, delicious.
And to finish it up, we've got like picante peppers. It's got a little bit of a bite and some mozzarella. Sorry, not mozzarella, some parsley You're going to finish it up. See how easy it is? You just put it together.
Simple.
Simple.
Simple. And then obviously we have our pepper and our salt that we'll put over it after we put it in the oven, right? We put it in the oven for how long?
You whack your oven to the highest, like 200 to 240 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're done.
From this to that, so while I put this in the oven, let's take a recap of the recipe.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
Fancy a heavenly slice of pizza for dinner? You might want to use up all your leftovers for this super speedy Clover Classic Chicken Mayo Pizza. To start off with the dough, add 1 teaspoon of sugar to 2 1/4 cups of self-raising flour in a mixing bowl. Add 1/4 cup of Clover butter, along with a 3/4 cup of Clover full cream fresh milk. Next, add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and mix everything together to form a dough. Place the dough onto a lightly floured surface and knead for a few minutes until the dough is elastic. Divide the dough into 2 equal parts and roll 1 part of the dough into a flat pizza-sized disc. Add the rolled out dough to a baking sheet and spread over a 1/2 cup of Clover Classic tangy mayonnaise. Top the pizza dough with sliced red onion, shredded roast chicken, 2 tablespoons of chopped piquant peppers, and 1 cup of grated mozzarella. Season with salt and pepper and a scattering of chopped parsley. Bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes. Once golden and gooey, slice the pizza and serve immediately while still hot. Bon appetit!
Made with love by Clover.
Very simple, right? Very easy to make. Now, it's in the oven. How long do we leave it in the oven for again?
10 to 15 minutes, or till you see it's bubbly and brown like this. Then it's done.
This is the perfect finish, and I can't wait to actually taste it. Would you like a taste, actually, Anna? Should I bring the whole thing?
Yes. Don't be shy. Let's go get into this.
Be shy. Now, happy World Pizza Day for tomorrow, everybody. Make sure you give this recipe a try and SMS the keyword Clover to 33728 to receive the recipe. Each SMS costs R1.50 and no free SMSs apply. While we taste this amazing pizza that we made, let's take a quick break. We're going to see you after this.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Expresso here on SABC3. We're nearing the end of the show, but of course we've still got some time to take a look at movies coming out, trailers, freshest trailers of this week. JP Sebastian gives us the 411. The Wild Goose Lake is the first one.
Yes, I love to talk about these tiny ones because, you know, we've spoken about the big ones like Fast and Furious earlier in the show, but I just want to give the small movies a chance too. Yes, the art house type stuff. So Wild Goose Lake looks gorgeous. Yeah. If you love stuff like, you remember Drive with Ryan Gosling, neo-noir type stuff, detective, you know, thriller type story. story than this story is a guy who shoots a cop by mistake, a small-time gangster.
Okay.
And then gets a bounty put on his head. Okay. And so the gang's after him and the cops after him. Love comes along though as well. He bumps into a call girl, and these two lonely souls have to go on the run to try and... It's a story that I think we've heard a lot of the times before, but look at these stylish shots, look at these beautiful colors involved in this. Tiny Chinese movie that is by a director who's gotten critical acclaim for other movies. Look at that. It's actually based in the region of Wuhan, where people are struggling right now with the coronavirus, so I suppose give them all the support you can. It's actually in the local Wuhan dialect, but it looks so surreal, the beautiful lighting and the color, and to have these dirty, tinged neon scenes in something that is so dangerous is always quite special.
Oh, I love that.
I love the stylization.
And this movie, when does it come out?
No date in SA for it just yet, but the more JP talks about these kind of things, the more there is a chance for South Africans getting these things to our shores. So I'm happy to pump these.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so Swallow is another one. This one with the director Carlo Mirabella Davis. He is incredible.
This is a horror sort of genre that I don't think that we've seen in a long time. It's just stuff happening inside someone's head that they're not giving you total illusion to, but the lady is newly pregnant in a new marriage. She's not totally sure if the marriage is the love that she thought she was going to have, and the household is what she thought she wanted.
This is after she's been married.
But the husband is controlling, the parents of the husband are controlling, and the only thing she feels like she has control over is this weird compulsion to swallow objects that aren't edible. So notice in that shot there, the food isn't very edible looking. It's very grey and drab, but whenever she's alone, she feels like the only power she has, and maybe because there's a baby inside, sharp objects, screwdrivers, thumbtack pins. When you hear the sounds in this trailer and you watch some of these shots, you feel it at the back of your throat. It's it's so upsetting. Look at that. So if you're into stuff like David Fincher's stuff, Zodiac, Gone Girl, or even stuff like Rosemary's Baby back in the day, it looks like it's going to be that kind of psychological horror. It's not too much you're going to see right here, right now, but go look at the trailer for yourself.
It's going to be an interesting one to take a look at, especially with those self-harming elements of it that are coming through.
Important stories,
Very important stories.
And being trapped,
at feeling that way and seeing how you're able to then jump out of it. JP, man, when does this one come out? No SA release date yet, but I know.
Teeny tiny movies. When it comes around, hopefully we get it in South Africa, and I'll be there to talk about it.
Well, catch this guy on social media, JP Sebastian, at JP Sebastian. He is our a resident movie critic. Of course, you can let us know what you think of these movies on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3.
Now, the Artscape Theatre Annual Education and Training Program seeks to remove barriers that could stand as barriers to the world of art. And this year, the official program launches on the 11th of February at 11 a.m. Do make sure that you make your way to the Artscape Theatre to go and take a look at the wonderful performances that will be on display, including an excerpt that we're about to see now from these two gentlemen next to me from the Unmute Dance Company, which is supported by the program. This is Andile and Sipenati. Take it away. dance company, part of the annual program that is offered by the Artscape Theatre.
Sure.
Beautiful program that empowers and includes all in the arts. Wonderful program starting on the 11th of February at 11 a.m. Go check it out.
With that. Wow. Ndlovu Youth Choir in tomorrow. It's going to be a big one. We'll see you for that.
What? The Ndlovu Youth Choir?
The Ndlovu Youth Choir. Oh,
The
yeah.
International Ndlovu Youth Choir.
Oh,
Wow.
it's going to be a big one, man.
We love you.
We got to go, guys. Make someone smile out there.
Adios. Bye-bye.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.